devil in a red dress. Call 911, I'm a killer. You know I hate to confess. Bang, bang, got my hand on the trigger. The devil in a red dress. Call 911, I'm a killer. You know I hate to confess. Bang, bang, got my hand, got my hand. Call
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Excuse me. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us on this beautiful Tuesday. All right. First off, this is the first thing I saw right here. Run Gun Business. Thank you so much. Member for 3 months. Chana member. Appreciate you. I think it's getting serious. All right. So we could take this a few different ways. So I think that things are actually getting very serious, and despite the topics that we discuss on the live stream, I really want to encourage all of you guys to do a few things. Number A, seriously, number one, get right with your family, get right with God, make sure that you are in the best position possible with your creator. And you should actually create a great relationship with Jesus Christ. He'll text you. He'll actually text you often. Two, make sure you have every single possible advantage when it comes to preparedness, right? I always mention water, food, shelter, security, and then there's like 100 different things between each of those 5 things, but those are the core elements of survival. So though we a lot of times embrace distractions, we a lot of times go knee deep into like gear, equipment, particular firearms and things like that. Tonight I felt compelled to talk about Camik because of some things that were brought up over the last few live streams that we did regarding handguns specifically. And I was like, let me do some looking into this. And I did some looking into it. Now, I don't disagree with this. Camik's greater than the SIG P320. I have no problem with that at all. Um, I see, there's a lot more to unpack with that. Anyway, Run Gun Brother, thank you so much for the channel membership, and let's go ahead and get into it. So, if you guys out there are watching for the first time, I'm Dark. I run this channel, DLD After Dark. We do a live show every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday that I don't fall asleep, and we usually go around 10:30 or so ish. All right. We talk about a bunch of things from just everything generally around freedom, independence, liberty, firearms, guns, equipment, preparedness, how your government hates you once you're dead, those kinds of things. And if this is your first time, I would encourage you to stick around. We got a lot of great people here. The community aspect is key, which it's huge. And yeah, for the most part, although we might bust some chops here and there, we have an excellent community of great people. So shout out to you guys. And depending on how you're watching this, they may be over here, or those great people may be here below me. So below me. So check them out. Say what's up. Come in the chat and introduce yourself. And I have a feeling that over I don't know, the next half hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. Who knows how long we're going to go tonight? After the next little bit of hanging out with us, you'll probably get value from this live stream, and you'll probably want to, like, subscribe, share, at least share it with your parents, and hang out with us. I'm Dark with DLD After Dark. Run two businesses. One is DLD Hardware. DLD Hardware is a company where I sell jigs to people that love building modern firearms in the privacy of their own home. And yeah, I got, some, other tools and equipment and stuff on there too. And I'm actually creating more products. I got a new product that I'm going to introduce tonight. I know it's dope. But in addition to that, not only do I run DLD Hardware with our good friend Flying Rich, we run another company, Definition Knives, and we are putting out some hot fire. We have a knife company, and currently we have 5 models. But tomorrow we actually have a very, very exciting package coming in. Pause. We actually have a really exciting package coming in, and we are going to be able to soon, very soon, start the introduction process of some of the knives from launch 2. So we're pumped about that, man, and we're working on the definition drop, and a whole bunch of great stuff is coming with definition knives. So check that out. It is completely financially ruining me, but it's gonna be worth it, right? I'm just kidding. No, it's great. It's a lot of money on the line. Holy moly. Rich and I are putting everything into this, so it must work. It must work. It's funny though, because once you kind of get into the knife business, now I'm not just looking at a knife like, oh, that's cool. Now I'm looking at knives, like looking at like Civivi knives that are, I mean, great knives, right? But I'm looking at the hardware like, that looks familiar. That hardware, it looks exactly like the hardware on our Boyd and on our, I'm just saying. So it's kind of funny to kind of, see the little things like once you get into the nitty gritty. So it is cool. It is cool. But for those of you that may be here for the first time, first off, I don't believe you, because YouTube doesn't share my content with new people. It just doesn't happen. I mean, bro, look at my background. Okay. Secondly, if you are going to maintain that position and say that, this is my first time here, welcome, and I'd encourage you to say hello in chat, and our folks will welcome you. And then also, stick around, because it's going to be valuable. I think you'll get some good stuff out of it, and at least you'll have a great place to come and make fun of people if you don't like the show. And if you're watching this the next day or the next day or the next day, do me a favor, shout out in the comments, drop a Replay Mafia. Razor JB, where you been at, bro? I haven't seen you, man. It's been killing me. Drop a Replay Mafia, recapitulation syndication, refried beans, reheating the leftovers, all the creative stuff that you guys do. I love it. And we're going to get into it. But before we do, I must say that yesterday was Trans Awareness Day. So due to that, I would like to play this short video that I've prepared.
Oh, no. No.
Moving along. Anyway, it's so funny. I know, it never gets old. It's like,
Oh, no. No.
oh, dude, if any father out there, you've looked at your child and just been like, oh, no, you didn't drink that much salt water. No, anyway, yeah, I was just kidding. There is no awareness other than, funny jokes and stuff. Anyway, so we're going to go ahead and move along, but we usually take the next 10 minutes or so ish to greet all of our channel members, because about 86 and some change percent of the support on this channel comes from our channel members. So we want to take a moment to welcome all of them, to say hello. So in chat, channel members, sound off right now, and we'll go ahead and greet all you guys. And I'm not going to go all the way to the back to greet all the channel members, because then I just say the same names like 50 times as I'm going through greeting everyone. So we're going to do it a little bit differently this time for the newer folks, right? For all of those newer folks right there, right? For like the 12 of them. Have you guys noticed that the numbers have gone down a little bit after the change in administration? It was weird. It was like there were 70, 80, 90, sometimes 100 people watching on YouTube. Small channel. I got like 5,100 subscribers. No big deal. But it was weird. It was almost like after there was a change in leadership at the ATF, viewership just like nearly cut in half. And then you start to think, who have I not seen in the chat over the last couple months? Is it possible? Anyway, moving along. So we're going to take the next 10 minutes or so to greet all of our channel members and to welcome them. And of course, first in chat was dang old Matt. Brother, great to see you, man. I appreciate you so much. We'll do what do you think? A crisp high five? Thank you, brother. And you know what? And we'll do a fist bump. Appreciate you, brother. We got A Day in chat. Channel member, appreciate you, brother. Oh, you know what? Let me stop. Channel members, sound off. And I'm going to go to the front this time, not to like be weird or anything. I'm just going to go to the front. Okay, closer to the front at least. Let's see. We'll start right. That they do. How could they afford it if they're? I'm just kidding. Look, I'm just gonna give my opinion. I am a stranger on the internet. All right, so I'm just gonna give my opinion based on some information that I found. I'm not gonna tell you like, oh, you need to get a Glock. You need to get a Glock. That's it. You should get a Glock, but I mean, it's not for everyone. But you should have one. Anyway, Zanti Misfit. Brother, great to see you. I know I came back to the beginning. A-Day, brother, great to see you, man. Appreciate you. Fat Rooster, my guy, great to see you. Appreciate you. Gutta Cheese, brother, great to see you as well. I did get your message, by the way. I didn't ignore you. I need to get back with you. Might be. Okay, let me go back to, let's see. Okay, so there's Run Guns. Salute to you, my guy. I appreciate you so much. Run Gun Business, also a channel member. Santi Misfit, brother, great to see you. Also a channel member. Stifler Manufacturing, brother, great to see you. Check out Stifler's website. Check out his eBay store. My man's got some good stuff. And someone had told me that if you use code DARK, you actually get a percentage off. He makes really great Glock slides, and yeah, check him out. 911. That's great. He said duty. Oh yeah, my bad. I'm tripping. See, this is what happens, y'all. This is what happens. I get distracted and forget to send things to my friends. Oh my goodness, what are you doing? You forgot to send me this. I will send it to you right now, my friend. Okay, boom, boom, boom. There we go. Okay, my B. All right, picking this right back up. Let's see. Stifler Manufacturing, Zanti Misfit, brother, great to see you. We said hello to you, so I'm going to keep that moving. Goonbeam, brother Goonbeam. We actually need to start this conversation with a conversation about Goonbeam. This is actually a pretty serious conversation. So we'll come back to it. Zanti Misfit, Kyle Wade, brother, great to see you. Anderson Manufacturing, also a place where Code Dark is highly effective. So check that out. See Stifler Manufacturing, Mike McClune, the Goon, brother, great to see you. Also a channel member and a moderator. So put some spec on his name. Fat Rooster, brother, great to see you. I'm almost done, and then I'll be ready. Okay, I'm almost done. You're doing me a favor, and I'm making you wait. But I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Flying Rich, channel member, and a moderator. Appreciate you, brother. Let's see. We got Zanti, Flying Rich, Fat Rooster, Zanti, Stifler's mom has got it going on. Agorizer, brother, great to see you, man. Appreciate you, my guy. Also, another channel member, Zanti Misfit, Get a Cheese, Agorizer, Stifler, Murph Dog, brother, great to see you, man. Appreciate you. I'm seriously searching everywhere for a gray G26. Well, depending on what happens, if if I really throw on the effort pants, I've considered, because of the whole issue with the Supreme Court, bro, I've been really, really frustrated by that. And I've been tempted to just say screw it and throw frames on DLD hardware. But if I do that, I know that I'll probably get in a little, I'll probably have to answer some questions. I'll say that. I don't want to say anything that could incriminate me. Mike McClune, the Goon, Agorizer, A-Day, Murph Dog, Agorizer, Get a Cheese, Murph Dog, Goon, Mike McClune, the Goon. Let me see. Fat Rooster, A-Day, Agorizer, Eric Stockbridge. There he is, brother. Great to see you, man. Appreciate you coming in and hanging out. Murph Dog, Stifler. I guess there's no way to not. I can't not do the duplicates. You know what I mean? Unless I'm going to like print a list of channel members prior to coming on, which I'm not going to do that. That ain't me. Y'all know me, and that ain't me. Let's see. Fat Rooster, Murph Dog, Get a Cheese, Fat Rooster, Stifler, Fluffy Bunny Arsenal, brother. Great to see you. Also a channel member. Appreciate you. Mike McClune, the Goon. Let's see. PNW 1488 says DLD, you effing stud. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming in and hanging out. PNW, is it PNW? Where do I know you from, man? What? Did you have a different name or something? Yo, that picture looks mad familiar too, bro. Man, I don't know. Your name looks familiar, but I apologize. I'm drawing a blank, man. FGM, brother, where you been at, man? Traveler. Okay, all the whatchamacallits, the honorable mentions. FGM, brother, great to see you. TMC, my guy. Traveler, all you guys, man. Mitten State Media, what's up, man? That was definitely a horrible SCOTUS decision, in my opinion. 100%. Absolutely wrong on every possible level you could think of. And I'm telling you, man, when I should probably be cautious of what I say as to not self-incriminate, but previously I had said, like, dude, I would be so frustrated and pissed off if we lost this decision that I would want to set up a lemonade stand of P80s, drilled P80s, and just be selling them out there on the street corner with a sign that says, P80s, right? Because, like, how can they do that? How can they don't have the levity, lenity, the whatever. They cannot just do this. And how do they, for every other situation similar to this, right? How could they possibly be struck down just on the AMA or the APA alone, the Administrative Procedures Act for braces, and be struck down on the Administrative Procedures Act for bump stocks, but not be struck down on just alone the Administrative Procedures Act for frames and receivers? Like, so they can just make this pseudo law based on opinion and take people to jail for 10 years plus $250,000 in fines per incident? Yeah, that's tyranny. That is literal tyranny right there. So There you go. I'd be careful with that back there, because if I bring you in, you'd be in big trouble. Um, we all do. We all do. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. Tech, brother, great to see you. Anyone else that I missed? My apologies. Tech Money, Garen Wilson, great to see you. Yeah, we're gonna have a conversation about conversations, so let's converse. Hyman,
Hi.
Hyman, how are you?
Good, good.
Good. Where are you at right now?
Yeah, the DLD After Dark Studios.
Oh, nice, man. I didn't know that he rented those out.
Mm.
It's funny. It looks so similar to mine, but it looks like you're maybe on the West Coast, maybe a few hours behind me, where it's still light outside.
Light out.
Yeah. You created another location, much like mine, with the guns I had on it 2 weeks ago. That's great. Rich, welcome. It's great to have you on. I feel like it's been a minute since I've had
been
you
a while.
on. Yeah, it's good to have you back. Please take a moment, if you would, and let everyone know who you are, what you do, and where they can find you.
So, yes.
Damien Christ, frag out. Love you guys. Good to see y'all. Sorry. My bad.
So, actually, Dark Crump and I are suing the ATF for engaged in the business of, and
Correct.
I am suing the state of Florida for open carry, which I can't show you what I would be carrying, but it definitely would be a VZ61 suppressed.
That's pretty dope. People
and this
sleep on the 32 ACP, man.
Yeah, and this is all through the good people at GOA. So if you're a GOA member, they're making crap happen. But yeah, I'm a gun guy, 3D printer, pilot, techie, whatever. FlyingRich.com, all my social media there. And we just broke 25,000 on Flying Rich Firearms.
Nice. That's awesome.
And
have you done a
any original content? What?
Well, I already know the answer to that. Come on. Have you done any definition knives content on that shit?
I was doing, I actually have them in some of the videos, but not all the videos. And it's just because it gets really freaking nutso. Like, I'll get creative and I'll make a month's worth of videos.
I'm
and
sorry,
then I'll be like, oh, I didn't put a knife
You'll
in
get
it.
what? I'm sorry, you said
creative. Or repetitive. Basically Timu Andy Warhol is what we're talking here.
Because when you say creative, I think like, oh, he's scripting and making like his own videos.
Oh no, I do that. They suck. They get no views.
So when you did your own content, you get no traction.
No traction.
When you took other people's content,
hold on. Let me find one of my videos.
No, it's okay. I believe you.
I think it's really good.
BV, good to see you, man.
All right. I mean, if you're already poo-pooing it, I'm good with that.
Oh no. I was just not in a bad way. Yeah, my brother just sold the house out from under me and stole $8,000. Dang. Woof, BV, man. A lot of people are going through really difficult times right now, man. I'll tell you what. I sunk my retirement into definition knives. So there you go. P38, Lightning McQueen, Chenamemba, great to see you, my guy. Appreciate you. Let's see. Frag Out, we love you. So Frag Out actually got a little something for you. We had to wait for the next whatchamacallit to come in.
We got to ship something out to, you saw the email today, right?
Yeah.
So we got to ship something out. Can I share this? Can
DB Cooper, brother, great to see you.
So here's a video. It took me days to make.
This is just sped up semi-auto, just for everyone to know.
And how much did we get?
Why is your recommended video how to increase your sperm? Increase sperm output with this one trick. Doctors don't want you to know.
And that took me days to do. And how many views they get? 446.
Wow, that's almost as
Yeah.
much as your other one that got 500.
So I'm like, why do my own content?
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm
Thomas
like,
Beard.
oh, I don't have any video content of me shooting the PS90. I'm like, ooh, I got the Pew Party video with the Tactical Turkeys P90.
Tactical Turkeys, great to see you. Thomas Beer, I'm referring to our knife company, Definition Knives, which actually the first run went incredibly well. We have a product that is excellent. Really believe in it. Both Rich and I, Rich has put a butt ton of money into it too. These are excellent products, really good stuff. And they're also super affordable, which is funny because I'm like, all right, these other knife companies that are selling this stuff for like way more than us, they're getting them in crazy volumes, right? In the thousands and thousands, in some cases like, 5 to 6 digit thousands. Why are they selling them for so much more? It doesn't make sense to me. But
So yeah, and just the whole paradigm of the company is, hey, sub $100 knives, high quality sub $100 knives. Now that doesn't mean we're not gonna, I don't know, quarterly blow something the F up. But yeah.
I mean, we are, so there's some knives, like for some of the stuff that we're doing. Look, there's some knives that we are literally developing from like a sketch. Like, oh, I have an idea, and then we start developing a knife from a literal drawing on a paper, and then as opposed to like comparing it to like looking through a catalog and saying like, oh, that blade profile is dope, and I think I'd like that in 8CR13 MOV steel with this G10 and this, you know what I mean? Like from things that already exist, as opposed to creating something from our imagination, which in those cases the goal, like Rich is saying, for Definition Knives is to keep everything at a $100 or less, but in some cases if we just go like all out crazy, then yeah, I mean, for one of like the Definition drops where we're only doing like one of 500 little crazy carbon fiber and G10 fused together, then machined out, and harpoon blades and stuff like that. But even with stuff like this, just wait to see what's coming, because we're constantly reevaluating things and re what do you call it, like elevating, like
And we're adapting and overcoming.
Yeah, that too. Who I saw something else. Lightning McQueen, brother, great to see you. If I missed anyone else, any gentlemen,
I want to shout out FGM, of course.
Cooper.
Damien Price. We got Kyle Wade out there, and I saw my buddy Frag out.
Yeah, man.
So everybody see my IG and YouTube?
Yes, Keith Decker. Thank you for the advice. Sell them for hire for your profit. I mean, that's definitely
everybody else is doing.
Yeah, dude, they offered it to us. They literally, when we made our first purchase, they were like, hey, if you want to save some money and also to charge more, we can send them to you in pieces. You pay less for shipping, you pay less for the importation from our country, and then we don't need to laser engrave China on them, and then you can assemble them in the US and then say they're made in the United States. And it was just so normal to them. We're like, what? No, laser engraved China on them and put them shits together. Excuse my language. I'm working on that. I'm working on the language, man. I'm sorry. I'm doing my best. But I appreciate you guys, y'all being so supportive. Hey, CNT Designs and Arms, brother. Great to see you. Yeah, no, and I do appreciate that. I appreciate all the
and P38 will. I guess I'll have to plan a visit with him, either to or from GOA goals.
Heck yeah, it's coming up soon. We're gonna have a booth there. We're gonna be put in our second store soon. So we're working on that. I was working on that today as well.
Cool.
And yeah, lots of big stuff happening. We're gonna be at quite possibly the biggest and coolest gun shop in existence. XCal is going to be carrying our stuff. That's where all like the YouTuber events happen, like the IV88, the Guns Out TV, stuff like that. To have our products there is insane.
That's
It is, and it's literally like next to Microtech, Civivi, Wee Knives, and like top of the line stuff, Fox, Karambits. But let's get back. M. Gabriel, Vulcan Rumble, great to see you guys. TMC, great to see all y'all. But so let's bring it back a little bit. So before we touch on the Camik stuff, which I got a whole thing lined up that I want us to look at, I found out a lot of information that could be helpful to people considering purchasing Camik owners, and people that don't like them and never intend to purchase them. This will be helpful for everyone. You do?
Mm-hmm.
How often do you shoot them?
Almost never.
How many rounds do you have through them?
Oh, probably, several thousand.
Several thousand?
Yeah.
How many problems have you had with them?
None.
None at all?
Yeah, maybe like last round didn't hold the slide open, something like that.
Okay. But
But
they function pretty well.
Yeah. And the weird thing is...
Sorry, real quick, let me guess. Did you get them before 2020?
Oh, I got the OGs that are double action, single action.
Okay. All right.
And so I took my wife out shooting, and I tried to pass it off as it was like a Ruger SR9. She's like, "Oh, this is different." She knew immediately.
In a good way or not?
In a good way. And she's like, "I'm keeping this one. Order yourself another one."
Dang.
I was like, "Whoa, wow." So, yeah, the Camik. It's funny. I can't shoot it worth a crap. Other people, whatever my muscle memory stuff going on.
Yeah.
My accuracy with that gun is awful. I can hand to somebody else. They do a great job with it.
Do you shoot Glocks pretty well?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, I think it's something about like, originally when I first started shooting Glocks, I did not shoot them very well, but MMPs and stuff shaped more like Caniks are shaped, shoot them very well. VP9s, I shoot them very well, like laser accurate. But it just took, it was like a training, curve basically. But before we get into the Camik thing, because I do have some stuff to share, I have some videos, I have some pictures. If you notice that on the thumbnail, the Camik MC9, I believe it is out of battery. And that was right before a shot was fired. So we're going to talk about that. Shout out to Coleon Noir. That is going to be good. And a bunch of, probably 50 comments and assertions from Camik owners. And
so did Coleon Noir have an experience with a Camik? Is that what you're saying?
He experienced a Camik.
Okay,
and
so I'm gonna deuce on Coleon because I used to like him. Not like I know him, I don't know him, but I when he was like 3/4 of the way of his entire body up the butts of the Big Daddy Unlimited people, I was like, I'm out.
Yeah.
Whatever he says,
I don't watch his content.
Might as well be a crazy man on the street yelling.
Yeah, it's clear that he has done a lot for the 2A world. He's done a lot to bring in usually what I find newer people, and when newer people kind of get in the 2A world, it even sucks to say the 2A world because like every single person, it's like saying like he's done great things for the rake community, right?
Right.
It's a tool, right? Like we all own tools. Yeah, right. It's like, man, it's just a gun. It's just a tool. But you want to make sure that the tools that you choose to purchase, that you choose to spend your very, very, very hard-earned money on are going to be tools that you can trust. Now, what I'm talking about mostly are newer Caniks over the last few years. We're going to talk about specifically the MC9 and some of the other stuff like certain Caniks with gold on them.
Well, are you talking about the Terran Tactical?
The TTI?
Dude, we have a friend that totally deuces on it. He bought one with his own money, and he's like,
who's that?
I don't know if I could say.
Is it someone that's kind of a little strange?
He's not strange now.
He's not strange. Okay. Because we had someone that bought one and like loved it, and then after he put like 500 rounds through it, he's like, yeah, this is trash. But hold on. So before we take it there, though, because
it might be time to smash one of them.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. So, okay. Before we get there, though, and this is not a deuce on Canik conversation. This is I sought out information, and this is what I found with the bias that I already hold to particular handguns. Okay. Y'all know I am biased towards Glocks. I love Glocks. I build Glocks. I shoot Glocks. That's what I love and trust. But I also know that a lot of my P80s and other built firearms, they're not all OEM Glocks either. But before we even get to the Canik and handgun conversation, we need to talk about something in our community that could affect everyone. This is really important. Goonbeam. Okay. Goonbeam has been a provider for flashlight enjoyers for a very long time. Okay. These are some of the best flashlights for the money that you can get, period. Okay. Now, honestly, whether you're talking about Goonbeam's handhelds or his EDCs
or his DMs, his IG DMs,
all of those weapon mounted lights right there, all of those are Goonbeams except that one. That's a Streamlight. I had to change because I was using a particular holster. Otherwise, I almost exclusively run Goonbeams. There are a couple things that I run Streamlights on just for holster compatibility. But if I could change every single weapon light to Goonbeams, I would. Okay. I am partial there. But the reason that I want to talk about this is that for the longest time, for $119 to $129 before discount, because obviously if you use code DARK, if you use the link in the description, you do get a discount through Goonbeam. You've been able to get a product that is Streamlight compatible. Let's use the handgun light for an example. For Goonbeam to offer the V1 and V2 short, which the short is the handgun compatible model, for $119 to $129 has been excellent because it's coming in at not only less than Streamlight costs, less than used Streamlight costs, with performance that is undeniable performance that is pushing past the performance of a $400 Surefire X300 Turbo, right? And Goonbeam has been punching way over his weight class. You're looking at $150 to $400 for any quality weapon mounted light. And I know some dudes will be like, well, I got this thing on Amazon and it's got, whatever, 1,000 lumens and a blue laser on it. And it will die at some point, right? It hasn't yet, but it will die. Anyway, Goonbeam had said, because of everything going on with the geopolitical situation of in China, with the tariffs going on with China, with look, Goonbeam, I'm not trying to put too much of your info out, but all companies that get stuff from China are dealing with the same thing, where they're paying for their shipment, they're paying for their shipping, they're paying for the cost and insurance to get stuff into the U.S. And then when it gets to the U.S. and it's sitting at customs, they get a call from the shipping company, and then they say, "Hey, it's here, it's in the U.S., it's already been dropped off and abandoned by the shipper, whether boat or plane or whatever. And we have your stuff here. Are you this person? Are you expecting this shipment? Yes. Okay. Fill out this paper for us." And then they send you the paper because, of course, you want your stuff, right? And then they send it to you and you fill out, okay, this is me, this is my business, this is my name, this is my social security number, this is the blah, 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 blah. You fill it all out, you send it over to them, and they say, great, now that we have all your information and all your personal info and all your, whatever, all the details declared, weight declared, cost, value, all that stuff, you need to pay us an additional $2,792 or your stuff will be destroyed. Like, what? So then okay, you're already paying more for the cost of items from China because of what's going on over there. You're already paying more for the shipment of items because of what's going on over there. You're already paying more for the customs insurance and all that, which is literally invalid. It doesn't do anything. And they don't send them back they don't return to sender, right? No one at CBP or customs or whatever, no one is going to send them back. They tell you they're going to get destroyed. And then, hey, come out in PLA. Good to see you. And then, for real, P38. And then, you have no choice other than to abandon something you've already spent a crazy amount of money on or pay the additional several thousands of dollars. Now, people like Goonbeam, companies like Goonbeam have been taking tremendous hits on this and have just been, dealing with, eating everything. And not only any other company, regardless of the customs stuff that companies are dealing with, just with the increase of the cost of products and the increase of the cost of the guts and all that stuff, then the increase of the cost of the shipping, the increase of the cost of all that stuff, every single company out there would have been raising their prices. But then you add in this shenanigan, which who knows if it's people, like FedEx guys and DHL guys making money on the side, or if it's truly legitimate customs stuff, who knows, right? But either way, it is sucking the life out of companies. So Goonbeam had recently posted, and him and I didn't talk about this or anything. I'm just sharing what I know and what I feel with you guys. Goonbeam said, hey guys, because of the cost of things, I have to increase my cost by 10 or so percent, something like that, which is like incredibly reasonable. And you know what I saw? I honestly loved what I saw. Every single person in the comments was like, hey, Black Diamond Josh, good to see you, bro. Every single person in the comments was like, dude, I don't care what the cost of the stuff is. Like, I'm going to support Goonbeam either way. Some people were like, I don't care what the cost of a weapon mounted light is because I need to identify what I may potentially be shooting at. I thought that was kind of funny. But everyone just took it like a champ. And what we've created is a super based community of dope people that care about each other and will support each other. I'll stand with Goonbeam. Yes, sir. And I appreciate that. Yes, they do. They do make pistol lights. It is the V1 and V2 short model. The long model is the rifle lights. Now, because of certain companies being quite litigious, you won't see pictures of particular lights, but just know that the short option is the pistol mounted light and the long option is the weapon mounted light or rifle mounted light. And you have every single option in there to pick. And I'm not saying this for anything like for me. I get nothing from this. Okay.
Oh, and I think more importantly with Goonbeam, every stinking last thing you need to mount the light on your gun is included. So the mount, the pressure pad, the pick rail mounts for the pressure pad, everything, zip ties.
Well, it's funny
thing
because I thought you were going to bring that up, which made me want to bust this bad boy out. And I said, you know what? I'm setting up to put another Goonbeam rifle light on one of my rifles. But not only that, I'm setting up to put another Goonbeam rifle light on another one of my rifles. And I'm setting up to put another Goon Beam rifle light on my rifles. And I know what you're thinking. It's Goon Beam, and you get lights from Goon Beam. Bro, I bought all these. Okay, you can check the receipts. I purchased these. Goon Beam has sent me a lot of stuff, so obviously I'm partial to him. But if I'll be honest, if Goon Beam sent me stuff and the products sucked, I would never run the stuff. I wouldn't run it. The my 10-3, which has been my beater for years. I've had that rifle for over a decade, and I've got over 12,000 rounds through it. Probably five, I don't know, 5 to 7,000 rounds probably with that Goon Beam on it mounted right there. You can't really see. And then on the new 11.5 Super Duty, I got a Goon Beam on there. And these are going to go on the shout out Anderson, which I got the Go Fast lower on. Totally lawful Go Fast lower on. Yo, the Anderson Frontline is where it's at. So that's an 11.5 Frontline that this is going on. I have the 14.5 Super Duty that this is going on. And I have the other Frag Out. Shout out to Frag Out as well. 10.5 that this is going on. So everything is getting Goon Beams. I got my buddy in security, gave him a Goon Beam handheld, which he is using for his secondary, like, a light that's not on his gun. And then also hooked him up with a Goon Beam pistol light as well. So dudes are running this in like real life situations. Like my Goon Beam is my ride or die. Oh, that's what I was going to do.
Crumpy's asking if you saw the email. Which I haven't seen an email.
I haven't seen an email. So you get a light protector with shock cord, so you can police your white light or your IR light, depending on what you get. Because you can, like in this situation, get an IR light for use of night vision and stuff like that. I use a little paint pen to mark my IR in yellow. It's super low key, low pro. You get all your super dope stickers, which I already took those out. You get a bunch of Goon Harder. Look at that. If you guys all like the stream while this is up, it'll make this the
so if
thumbnail.
You click like right now.
Yeah, if all of you guys click like right now, it'll make this the thumbnail. Let's see. There you go. Goon Harder right there. Like the stream, like the stream, like the stream. 3, 2, 1. Goon Harder. It might. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't. Oh, but it's going to be both of us. Whatever.
Should have went solo.
Yeah, I should have went solo. I should have went solo a long time ago, if you know what I'm saying. Heyo. This is the higher candela rifle light, and it comes with the light itself with a pick mount. You can pop those screws off and put another, like I use the Magpul mounts. It has the whole tape switch and all that if you want to run a tape switch, or you can just run the push button. It's got a charger in there, and it has every single thing, whether you want to use the 3M sticky tape or the pick rail thing. I just personally use the pick rail one on the 10.3, and then I'm running the pick rail stuff on the 11.5, where it locks the tape switch into the 2 little pick rail slots, and those things stay there. I mean, they do not go anywhere. Yeah, it's just, dude, you get every single thing you need is in here, and you don't have to go on 100 concepts and order another another light cover or whatever. It's got additional O-rings, it's got zip ties, it's got screws. He literally throws in screws if you're going to be using it with another mount. He throws in additional screws in there, which maybe that's what those are for. Just everything you would need. Zip ties for cable management. It's just awesome. And for the price, for less than the cost of a used Streamlight. It's crazy. So that's why I'm saying we should all still support Goon Beam, because he waited this long to even talk about a price increase, and he's only doing a tiny little price increase. I just think we all should support him because he's the man.
And
what say you?
I say yes, and I was hanging out with Goonbeam's bestie
Oh yeah,
over the
yeah.
weekend. I didn't realize Goonbeam and I had a mutual friend.
That's crazy. Small world.
So that
Tis
was kind of
indeed.
funny. So that was at the Space Coast Range Day on Saturday. So
Yeah.
it
How was that? Did you have fun?
was cool. It was cool.
Nice.
Had a good time. Christian Nelson, X7 Studios came out. So I got to see him, his wife,
Good guy.
the baby, and Goombeam's bestie and his wife. They were cool.
Hold on, hold on. Oh, what about him?
They,
Crumpy?
oh, there's
He
something.
just sent a text.
I,
BDGG.
oh, I don't have my phone in the same room, so if Crumpy's texting me, I'm not getting it.
Goomby might need to source domestic suppliers. So the funny thing is that there is no such thing as domestic suppliers for the guts of flashlights. They only are born in China. Every single light, Streamlight, Surefire, the Fox, whatever.
Eagle Run 2-3, what's up?
Eagle Run, what's up, buddy?
Integrity.
What other companies? Cloud, Modlight, all of them are born in China. Even if they put them in a oh yeah, I did see that. I didn't get a chance to respond yet, but yes, Crumpy, thank you. I saw that. I'll respond after the show. I was just tied up all day, and then I had the little one with me. Thank you for the reminder. How come left side pad is a gas pedal instead of a brake pedal, clutch, or Mr. Wade, great to see you. ME, great to see you. So is it ME because it's a medical examiner? Integrity, great to see you, brother. I literally use Goonbeam's IR light to drive my Razor at night with nods. That's awesome. Did he just say Poon Dreams? Yeah. Yes, yep. I got you. My bad. Yep. Yeah, I did. I saw it and I was like, oh, dope. Heck yeah, I need to respond. And then just got so bogged down today. Eagle Run 2-3, great to see you. We were talking about you actually before. We're talking about making a little group that's going to be great for.
Oh yeah, it's funny. I was talking to him a day or so ago, and we didn't. Yeah, yesterday, and I didn't bring it up.
Yeah, we're doing a little something.
That's because Consuela came over to clean his house, and he had to go.
Consuela is always just.
And he said Consuela is a smoke show.
Consuela can swallow.
I told my wife I was doing the maid.
I'm sorry. What? Well, she's the maid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you should be okay. All right. Let me see. Where did I put these? Dang it! This always happens. Okay. Where's the image? Okay. See, I uploaded my whatchamacallit before. Oh my goodness, I have like 10,000 images in here. Yeah, I uploaded my thumbnail before after uploading all these images, so it's like lost in here somewhere. I should have had it somewhere off to the side. Okay, nope, that's my full name, address, social security number, so we're not going to show that one. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, that's the PNG. So where is the video? Okay, I got the video somewhere. Just hang tight for me. Because there's some comments and a video. So we'll get into it like this. Okay, so initially, what I was looking into was just in general failures from Camik, right? And then I started looking into failures. I guess the failures that were popping up most frequently, because I'll back up even further. The question that I was intending on answering for myself was, is the Camik firearm duty grade or duty quality? So before we get into this, what's your experience with Camiks? I know you kind of mentioned it in the beginning, but let everyone know, because now we have more and different people in here. What are your experience with Camiks? Do you own them? How many rounds through them? And all that?
I've got two. I've got a couple thousand rounds through each of them. I'm pretty happy with the firearm overall. I got the double action, single action model, and I have one. It looks like a Ruger SR9 basically, and the other one is Cerakoted, and that was the first Cerakoted gun I ever got. And I was a little surprised. I thought Cerakote was like some magical material. Dude, Eagle Runs, his video starts at 49 minutes. I was so ready to say something like that.
Yeah, I knew it was going to happen, of course. But we talked about 10 other things beforehand, so,
So, yeah, I thought Cerakote was some sort of crazy magical finish. And, when it was wearing, I was kind of surprised. But, stuff
when applied correctly. Sorry. I'll stop.
So, yeah, I have...
Fat Rooster can comment on that. When applied correctly, it can be a very, very hard finish when applied correctly.
Yeah. So yeah, no real big complaints about it. It's equally as reliable as any other firearm. Now, this is the OG Caniks that came into the country.
So
this is like I watched a Nut and Fancy video and like ordered a Canik.
Okay, so that was going to be my next question: is when were these ordered?
Oh yeah,
when were these purchased?
More than 10 years ago.
More than 10 years ago. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the issues that I'm seeing are more so over the last 5 years, which honestly, I was kind of surprised by that. I would think that the older,
over time.
Yeah, the older, earlier ones would be, subject to more issues, and then that over time they would get better and people would, see improvements in the system. But it seems like that's not the case. Now, one of the I think I'm just gonna have to resend this to myself. Give me 1 second. One of the things that I found was it was more so with the MC9 that I was finding information on. But to be fair, I also think that that's because it's a much newer platform, and it's I don't know when it was launched, but it's newer, so more people are talking about it. It's had a lot of, there's been a lot of bigger content creators talking about it, doing videos on it. Why in the heck did it fail? It's not sending to me. So, like for an example, Honest Outlaw, Coleon Noir, all the gun reviewers had been, and it's sideways. All right, so let me do edit, rotate left. Of course, it did that because left is upside down. There we go. And then flip. Let's just go with horizontally. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, so the MC9 were the ones that I was seeing the most issues with, but I also think, to be fair, that it's because they're the newest ones that everyone's talking about. Now, let me ask this question. I know we've talked about this before. For everyone in chat, how many rounds do you need to put through your firearm before you say, okay, I'm going to add this into the carry rotation and I'm going to trust my life with this handgun? How many rounds do you put through a gun before you say, you know what? This has proven itself to me. And we've talked about this before. Some dudes will say 2 boxes, 100 rounds, and 2 magazines of my carry ammo. Or some people say 500 rounds.
It's funny. Eagle Run's got it. I'm saying 500. That's why I'm not carrying my new P365. I haven't shot it yet.
Yeah,
I want to
500.
dump 500 rounds.
Garen Wilson says 2,000.
Wow.
Most would not believe how a lot of coders cut corners. I totally believe it. 500 rounds, 500 rounds. So 500 plus. So Garen Wilson, with you guys, most of you knowing the situation, I bought that Shadow Systems, the XR920, XR920C, the combat. I bought that as like a very expensive Glock alternative to be able to put rounds through it to show you guys if it would basically, give us a similar, to Glock performance, and if it was worth the hype. It's not worth the hype, right? It's not. The $1,000 price tag is absolutely not worth it. Granted, I got it for $499, right? If you can grab them for $499, yeah, absolutely, great deal, grab it. But I'm at 2,300 or so rounds through it now. No cleaning, no maintenance, no oil, no nothing. And it's run fine, except for the one, I think it got like a piece of projectile or casing or something in the slide rail. And it was just a little burr. Took it down, opened it up, put it back together, totally fine. So aside from that one instance, but this is all mechanical stuff. All mechanical stuff can fail, and a company can put something out and have 99.5% of them go flawlessly, but then oh yeah, sorry, I just got a message. And then that 0.5%, obviously those are the loudest, right? So like, people are going to hear more about that than they are about the 99.5% that don't have an issue. But as I'm going through and I'm looking for information, I come across a bunch of failures. And to be fair, I looked up Camik failures. Okay, so I started seeing issues. Most of the Camik failures that you'll see, if you take the same little rabbit trail that I did, bunny trail, whatever you want to call it, I started seeing a lot of issues of failure to feed, failure to extract, failure to remain locked open. Now, for me personally, there's a lot of shooter error things that could be going on. There's a lot of ammunition related things that could be going on, but also how easy is it for a shooter to accidentally, in their firing grip, hold down or accidentally depress or even just slightly depress the slide stop or slide lock, right? That could totally happen. So it could be user error, right? But what I found is with this one guy, I'll give an example of. This one guy got a Camik MC9, and we were having the same conversation of the 500 rounds, 2,000 rounds, however many. And I was saying, man, something could happen. You could run your gun for 500 rounds, and something could happen at round 700, right? Or if you push it too far, 1,000 or 2,000, maybe a part breaks, right? So what's better? 100 rounds, 500 rounds, 2,000 rounds, 5,000 rounds. When will you quote trust it, right? Well, here's, interestingly enough, exactly what happened with this guy who has a channel. He bought a Camik MC9 and he put 500 rounds through it, and he loved every single thing about it. He was blown away with it, loved the trigger, said it is the best striker fired trigger out there, and he was literally about to not only carry the gun himself, but he also was about to get his wife one, and she was going to retire her 365 so she could carry the Camik MC9. So as he was filming his review video, he went out to do some last shooting to get some other B-roll and other action shots. This is after he put 500 flawless rounds through it. Between 500 and 700 rounds, he started getting massive failures. And not only crazy. Yes. So that's the crazy thing for me. It's like, okay, you put 500 rounds through a gun and it's flawless. Not one singular thing goes wrong with it. I mean, I would think that the gun is good to go. That's what kind of brought up the conversation of, well, should it be 750? Should it be 1,000 rounds and then 100 rounds of your self-defense ammo of your choice? So he had to kind of change his video because he didn't get one sent. The dude's got like 150,000 subscribers. He didn't get one sent to him by Camik that was cherry picked or checked out or whatever. He literally went and bought one full MSRP at the gun shop. So he started getting failures, but he also noticed in his footage that the Camik did not fully go into battery. And when he reviewed it, the striker, his wife was allowing the trigger to reset, and then she pulled the trigger and it just went and it hit the primer. But because some of the issues that he was getting was light primer strikes, the gun didn't go off. Clearly, an out of battery detonation could have been a very, very bad thing. But other people started saying that they're seeing out of battery detonations and the gun's totally fine, but that the Camik can still fire when it's just slightly out of battery, and it just kind of, the striker hitting the cartridge pushes it into battery in like the last second. Still extremely dangerous. The gun could literally blow up. But check this out. So as this guy is saying this, he said, I was reviewing footage and I found a video of Coleon Noir shooting the Camik MC9, and it literally did the same thing, but his actually discharged. So check this out. Okay, I believe.
Did we lose Eagle Run?
I don't know. What do you mean? Did we?
Just curious if he's around.
Okay, so this is the footage of, I think this is actually backwards, but I'm kind of scared to mess with it. So let's say, okay, that was not it. Okay, hold on. There we go. Okay, this is how the footage was on Coleon Noir's channel. Okay, you guys can see it, right? I'm not looking. You can see it, right?
Yeah.
All right. Out of battery. And it was fine, right? But it can fire out of battery, right? When you push other firearms back like that a striker fired, it disengages the striker. It will not allow the gun to go off. In some cases, Glocks and some other guns alike, right? But check this out.
Oh.
You see that, right?
Wow.
Now, oh, yeah, that's a butt cheek tightener right there, dude. That would make me a little nervous. But the crazy thing is that this was the exact thing that how do I click out of this thing? Oh, I need to stop the screen share. Okay, hold on. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so that was the exact thing that happened to this dude. No, delete. I don't care. Stop it. Sorry, that was a pain. So that was the same thing that happened to this dude, but when his wife was shooting it, because one of the issues that he was getting was light primer strikes, it hit the primer. He said, hey, rack that round out. He took it out. He took a look at it, held it up to the camera, and it had to strike I mean, you could see a dimple in the primer, but it just happened to not go off. So then he made a video, right, explaining what was going on with, yo, Drewski. Brother Drewski just sent a $50 cash.
Wow.
Thank you so much, Drewski, man. I appreciate you, brother. Lifetime channel member, Drewski. Where you at in the chat? Where you at in the chat? My bad. I didn't have chat. There he is. Great to see you, brother. There are maintenance cycles for cleaning. Yes, they are. And okay, so he struck me as a little bit of a newer gun guy. And he said he cleaned and lubed it after every single range trip. I remember when I used to clean my guns after every single range trip. So, and he may be very, very experienced, but at least the dialogue that he was using was he seemed pretty well informed. But again, just like you guys are getting information and opinions from a stranger, I was getting information and opinions from a stranger, but he also got additional opinions and information from strangers. For an example, let's look at some of these. Oh, actually, hold on. Before we go into this, I need to share something else first. This was the picture of our boy Coleon Noir. So I honestly think what happened is when he started to let the gun or the trigger reset, the slide probably moved forward a little bit. If the guts are similar to most striker fired pistols, it probably closed the breech just enough to not explode in his hands. But I'm just guessing. Yeah, I'm certainly not a pro when it comes to this. But if a gun can have, if it's not set up to fail correctly, then I don't think, in my opinion, it should not be treated as a duty gun, in my opinion. So now let's go back to some of these. So then he said, I started reaching out to my viewers, right? And these are some of the comments that he was getting. So let me see, make sure I'm on the right one. Okay, adult chicken. Because there's several of these actually. Okay, adult chicken. Had a terrible experience with my MC9. Mag would not release and would get stuck when I pressed the mag release, even with a full mag. The worst part was the failure to return to battery. Almost a quarter to a third of the rounds would fail to return into battery. I think it's something with like the cruciform, like whatever the internal striker system, what releases the striker. I think something is like providing just enough resistance to keep it from riding all the way back home, because that's a very common theme. Okay, so a quarter to a third of the rounds would not fall or return to battery. Sent it into Sentry, and they said they fixed it, taking it to the range in the next few days to test it, which that actually is a great experience, because from what I'm hearing, Sentry is like not responding to many people at all. Got really? Mine. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. Taking a very long time to respond to people, usually roughly a 4-day response via email. And it was said that guns were cherry picked for individuals. Got mine. It was a POS. Mags wouldn't drop free. Failed to go into battery multiple times. Dead trigger. That's another issue that's been coming up a lot. Dead triggers. Couldn't get rid of it quick enough. It sucks because I love my Rival S. I have an MC9 and it's fun to shoot, but the last 3 times I've been to the range with it once I got past 100 rounds, I started getting a failure to feed, which that's also common. I saw a lot of that, not just with the MC9, with mechanics in general. And I think that it's kind of highlighted when, if you were to look up Glock failure to feed, you would find obviously a bunch of failure to feeds on Glocks, I start getting failure to feed and ejection issues. I clean my pistols after every range visit, and I've shot different ammo each time, but still the same issue. Not sure why. This is the 5th Camik that I've purchased. Initially, I had some issues with it as the recoil spring assembly needed to be replaced by Century Arms. However, after I got it back, I've been putting rounds through it without any issues. In my last 3 outings, I have shot 115 grain, 124 grain. You're not supposed to put 115 grain, at least through the MC9. They say you need to put 124 grain through it, which that kind of sucks, because I'd say about 80% of my ammo stockpile is 115 grain. You know what I mean? Like that kind of sucks. But with all this stuff that's been coming up about Camiks, you know what Sentry's response was?
No, I've been tracking.
They said
operator
recoil spring. So, okay, 2 things. Yes, they did say in most of these cases it's operator error or ammo related, and it has nothing to do with us at all, especially with the TTI combat.
But
however, because we want to focus on solutions and not finger point, This is a video, by the way, because we want to focus on solutions and not finger point after saying that it's your user's fault for user error and
Yeah.
ammo.
Yeah, you're treating it badly.
Yeah, we're going to send out new recoil springs to everyone, and it'll fix all the issues. Some people did say after putting in the new recoil spring, they didn't have issues. But I mean, we're talking like a few of these guys out of like 24 plus. Shoots great, but major issues with ammo getting caught on the feed ramp. Okay, so that's a failure to feed. Unfortunately, the MC9 I recently purchased had issues chambering hollow point rounds. They fixed it, taking it to the range in the next few days. Okay, that's a repeat of the same one. So let's go back here. I'm gonna close that one. And there is it stops today. Somebody just said. I think that's about something else, though.
It begins today.
Yeah, it begins again today. Okay, I own a gun store. MC9s are coming back every single day due to malfunctions. I also shoot for Camik. What? Dude is a sponsored shooter. I love the brand, and every other gun they've made is gold. This ain't that. Dang.
Ooh.
Hold on. I need to make this bigger. No recall. Let me say all this. It could get worse. Sent mine in, and they broached the mag well due to mags hanging up. Replace the mag release. Replace the recoil spring assembly due to failure to go into battery. Had failure to feeds with it, so they polished the feed ramp as well. If you don't, and then it stops. Crystallized Booger says, shot it today at the range. It consistently jammed on me, jammed on my friend, jammed on the range safety officer. Real jammy. Sorry, that's funny. I have a P320 that fired out of battery. Oof, and it was post modification for the drop test. So that just means it's got the trigger upgrade. I recently bought an MC9, and believe it or not, the flare on the case crimp was the issue. No issues after I put a slightly more crimp. I guess he's a reloader. I would measure the chamber, but no gun should strike out of battery. Yeah, so that's if there is an ability to strike out of battery, huge issue. Then there is an entire Reddit thread here on the Camik, specifically the MC9 issues. Update after having been cleaned multiple times, leaving the slide locked open for a week, shooting over 150 rounds. Okay, so somebody got it to shoot 150 rounds. That's good. Let me go back here. Okay, so let me close that one. Dang it. Okay, so this one kind of got jacked up in the process of taking a screenshot, but I just rolled with it. My MC9 is currently at Century Arms, being replaced with a new serial number. Feeding issues from both the mag and feed ramp. Gun not returning to battery. Light primer strikes. Mag stick inside the mag well. Century sent a new recoil spring, but it didn't help. It didn't really help. Seeing a lot of review units running perfectly, but the issues are definitely popping up in forums. So that's kind of what leads some people to believe that they're cherry picking stuff for content creators, because all the issues that were coming up with people with YouTube channels were dudes that were going and buying them at the gun shops, as opposed to like Coleon Noir, Honest Outlaw, and other people in those, camps that were getting Camiks and running them, and they were not having issues at all. But the fact that that thing fired out of battery, it had to have closed at the last second or something like that. I don't know. I don't know what could have. That just scares the crap out of me. The fact that the gun can fire out of battery.
Yes.
And again, I'm not deucing on all Camiks. All right. I'm just saying the newer Camiks, and it appears the MC9 have problems. What are your thoughts on all this so far?
I wouldn't go near it. Wouldn't be worth the risk.
What about your older ones? Do you feel like they've already kind of proven themselves, so
Yes.
you're good
Yeah.
with them?
Yep.
Now, what if you were not a Canik owner, with the older ones that you got, and you were just hearing all this? Would you just not even?
Well, just recently, the Canik TTI, which is supposed to be a top of the line model in collaboration with Tower
$1,000 gun.
Tactical,
$1,000 gun.
that constantly gets blown out for somewhere around $800.
Yeah.
I mean, I was there for the announcement and the launch that was SHOT Show 2 years ago, and that was a big freaking deal. That was a flagship firearm.
I think it's going to be. I've heard that it's going to be in the next John Wick, and that's why it was put out. Big deal made about it, put out in advance and all that. I don't know if it is, but that's had a bunch of issues too, man.
So look, the reality of it, it's the Caniks are made in Turkey, and some crap made in Turkey's crap, some crap made in Turkey's okay.
Yeah.
It could be, something's out of tolerance, out of spec from a subcontractor. It could be the materials, subcontractors substituting a worse spec'd material. Whether it's the hardness of the firing pins, or what. There could, or just like the recoil springs, maybe they weren't heat treated right, or they weren't the hardening process, whatever it may be. There could have been something in the manufacturing that just wasn't right, because it seems like they know there's a known problem with the recoil spring system.
Yeah, they have addressed that. They include two recoil springs now with the TTIs, the Terran Tactical Combat One, and that was the video where the guy was kind of pointing fingers at the users. He was like, we're not going to say it's our users, but all
now,
of it.
Who's in the video? Is it Adam?
It's I don't remember the guy's name. He's like 6 feet 7 inches.
Yeah,
tall.
Adam Ronula, whatever.
Okay, so it's probably him. So he's like, it's probably all user error. They said out of 30,000 TTIs, that 5 of them came back.
Look, and I don't mean to be a complete dick about this, but I've got like 10 freaking guns I bought last year I haven't shot.
Yeah.
And I could walk out into my yard and shoot them. So I'm betting a lot of people got the box and then put in their safe.
Don't run them. Yeah. Especially something like that. That's kind of, like collectible.
So I think it's super important for any I mean, just look at us. We were kind of excited that Kurt 24 broke his clip on the knife. We're like, we'll fix it.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're on it.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually they should be here this week.
Ish.
Yeah. My MC9 did the exact same thing. I've had a lot of trouble with mine. Had to send it to him. Ammo, nose diving, and a feed ramp. One of them, I returned mine for the second time.
It's a 9mm feed ramp geometry. Should be a super, super, super known factor.
Yeah, you should be able to R&D that, rip off and duplicate that from any other company.
There's no magic. The Browning tilting action. Come on.
This dude said I returned mine for the second time. Contacted Canik and the dealer. We'll send it back or repair. I don't know. Misfires frequent. I would love to know what he means by misfires. And I realize we're just reading comments on the internet, So, and I'm not deucing on all Caniks. Again, I don't want to be unfair. And a lot of this, like these comments, a lot of this is specifically about the MC9, and I'm bringing this stuff up. So,
there's people here saying I have this Canik, I like it, but the MC9.
What are you saying in the comments right now?
Well, here's another comment here. Well, the guy says I shoot for Canik, and it's like I've got this model Canik, love it, but not the MC9.
Yeah. Dark primer pocket depth will cause light primer strikes for sure. I had 2 light primer strikes with my SVT 40. Upon further inspection, I noticed that the primers were pushed in 1/32 of an inch below being flush. Sure, yeah, and it's definitely you have a combination of so many different things, even just letting one singular round off, right? You have all of these mechanical pieces interfacing with one combustible and consumable item that's, what Eagle Run did a test, and like 30% of the ammo in a very high quality, a decent quality ammo company, 30% of the case was out of spec, right? So I definitely understand that, it's, I just think that we're at a place now where we're in 2025 where guns that are quote duty grade, duty quality should be able to run most crappy ammo. And, if in the end, if you say, well, I have this one gun that I love and love to carry, if it's an MC9 or something like that, but it's just picky on ammo, then maybe you just run that ammo through it. But just know that there are people saying that this gun, I mean, we saw it fire out of battery. Luckily, it didn't end in catastrophe. And this other video that this guy, where I screenshotted these comments, it literally struck the round out of battery. It just didn't go off, and it didn't end in catastrophe. It was a light primer strike. It probably was a light primer strike because it was out of battery. Does that make sense? Because it wasn't, close enough to the round. I like Camix, and I own two. This one and my TP9 Elite Combat Executive, which I love. The MC9 through the first 200 rounds had multiple failure to feeds, and once didn't go into battery, and I was shooting 124 grain, which is what they recommend in self-defense ammo. After about 150 rounds, it started to run smoother, but I can't trust it now. Let's see how it runs over the next 300 to 500 rounds. This guy says, I recently had to send my MC9 back. Had issues with several brands of hollow point rounds, getting called on the feed ramp. That sucks. Hopefully they straighten the issue out because I really like the gun. Fear Airsoft Zone says, man, I love this gun. It's fast and shoots staying accurate. But man, I'm seeing online they either run smoothly or they don't. I happen to get one that has a failure to feed issue with standard ball ammo. And no, I'm not limp wristing it. That is funny. That's kind of like the thing. Well, it's definitely user error, limp wristing, ammo, and all that. I mean, of course, right? Like I said, there's a bazillion things that is going on when you fire a gun even once, right?
You like my background?
I don't like it. I love it. It has a certain like scout.
No, different background
Aspect.
No, it's Eagle Run 2-3's background.
Oh, is it? Oh, I just zoomed in on it. I thought that was Black Scouts for a second. No, that looks good.
I don't know if I have Black Scouts on here.
No, you do. You've put it up before. But look, here's what I think. Is the Camik, in my personal opinion, from what I've seen.
He's got the green. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. In my personal opinion, I am a registered Dremel smith. I got this certification from Flying Rich. I've been to like dozens of internet cafes and looked up gun videos. I'm just kidding. I am just a dude that's been shooting for nearly 2 decades. I did not jump on the Camik bandwagon, honestly, because they're from Turkey. I don't own any firearms that are Turkish, except one particular MP5 clone, because the company MKE did a whole thing getting tools and standards and QC expectations, QA expectations, getting actual HK tooling and all that from HK. And then they were manufacturing items on that tooling. They got a good reputation. So the MKE AP5 I do own. Aside from that, I don't own any other Turkish firearms that I know of or that I can think of. Right?
And I'd like to take this moment to talk to you about Turkestra.
But if it took Glock mags, I would be all over. I'm just kidding. Hey, look, it's undeniable when you try a Camik trigger. It's like, oh, my Glock trigger's not like that. You know, I will tell you, I've got some Glock triggers that I have just shot the dog snot out of, and I mean, dude, they lighten up a lot, but they don't turn into what Camik triggers are. So that definitely got me like curious. All I would say is, would I consider Camik a duty grade or like a civilian field grade firearm for people that are going to need to trust these things with their life and the lives of their loved ones? I would personally say no. However, that's just one stranger's opinion on the internet. What I would say is, because of the possibility, hey, come on, PLA. Good to see you, bud. Is Black Scroat still around? Yes. Yes, he is. Adam Rumula.
Adam the Romulan.
Rowan Aloha is the Camik giant. Yes, he is. Just say no to Turkish firearms. Yeah, I personally agree. Sandwich Chef, good to see you. All you guys. Scoot, good to see you as well, brother. Crichton Kitchen, Turkish food is so damn good though. Yeah, I actually don't have any experience. Mr. Dirk, great to see you, my G.
So you have no plans on eating anything Middle Eastern in the future?
Plus, won't grenade in your hand. Hold on, say it again.
Nothing.
Oh yeah, I might. There's a couple things, menu items I've been looking at. Great to see you here, Dirk. Great to see you, brother. Yeah. So look, I would not carry a Camik. I was blown away when I said, okay, I could use this as a barometer. If Safariland makes holsters for the Camik, then maybe there's some hope for it. There are some Safariland holsters for the Camik, but I'd be curious to see if no. Afghani kebab, yes. Turkish kebab, no. So I'd be curious to see what police agencies issue Caniks or allow people to, carry Caniks. That's all I'm saying. I don't think they're trustworthy personally, or that they've earned that reputation. For everyone out there that owns a Canik, because I know a lot of people do own them, right? I would say they should be considered more guns to take to the range instead of guns to carry to defend your life and the life of your loved ones, or in the absolute worst situation you could ever imagine, something terrible happens. And you know what I saw? Man, I watched this video where this police officer gets out of his cruiser and he has a SIG MCX. Would you consider a SIG MCX rifle to be a decent gun?
Oh yeah.
Would you carry one?
Yes. Yeah.
All mechanical items can fail, especially when you introduce the possibility of ammunition being an issue, which is a consumable, which there's problems all the time. The dude gets out and he raises his SIG MCX at a bad guy and he says, freeze, stop. Dude had a full auto UMP. The bad guy had a full auto UMP, and he was just waka across all the cruiser's windshields. Okay. The dude raises up his MCX. He's like, stop, put the gun down. Click. And then he's like, oh my goodness. Racks around in the chamber. Already had a round in the chamber. And then he tugs out his mag. The rounds fall. He just goes for his pistol and he just caps the dude. Right. But like that split second.
Oh man.
Right? Like, could you imagine, stop or I'll shoot?
Click.
Oh, dude. Oh, like, butt cheeks have never been tighter than that moment. Dude, they say all the time, the thing a shooter does not want to hear is a click when it should be a bang, or a bang when it should be a click. That is the ultimate cheek tightening factor, like, ever. Okay, I'm just saying, seeing now that some Caniks, even if it's just the MC9, some Caniks, shout out the range. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. 47 likes. That some Canics could potentially fire out a battery, could grenade in your hand. I would hate to see that, from any viewers out there, any people out there, honestly, even not just viewers. I love my viewers, prefer my viewers to strangers, but still, I would say it's a no-go. Would it be a great dude? I have guns that I don't trust in my collection. I have guns that I won't carry in my collection. I own SIG 320s. For goodness gracious. All right. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying I know it, right? Skywalker. Woof. Just imagine that, like, in your head, everything is on the line. I need to save the life of the people around me and myself. I need to stop this guy who is mag dumping a full auto 45 ACP. And I think he was no, it wasn't him. His buddy to the left of him got hit, and he put the red dot on the dude and click. And then, of course, he charged around because it just, the gun works, right? It's worked thousands of times. So it must have been the ammunition. It likely was the ammunition, but it didn't pull the round out. So he gave himself a double feed. And then when he took out the magazine, the rounds fell out, charged it again. But get this, another dude on another body cam, his MCX failed.
No.
I'm like, oh my goodness. I would have been like freaking out, dude. But you know what? Both of their Glocks worked. I'm sorry. I'm just saying, go watch it. It's the video on Donut Operator did a breakdown on it. It's it's a hostage situation where they do like a rolling roadblock on the guy, box him in. 2 MCXs failed. I do think so I have a little bit more, what would the word be? I put a little bit more thought into this, and I think there's more that kind of goes into this. That was probably ammunition related for the first one. Secondly, they all had really unique magazines in their guns. So here's what I believe. I believe the agency probably has an OEM magazine policy only, and SIG had to make a bunch of AR mags for the MCXs because they usually don't. They put them out with PMags or whatever. So they probably had to push out a butt ton of SIG AR mags, and who knows, maybe they're crappy, maybe they suck. It was just something I noticed. That's all I'm saying. So are SIG MCXs terrible guns? No, I don't think they're terrible guns at all. Do I think there's some issues with the MCXs? Yes. Barrel whipping, there's issues with jacket separation. There's especially with the 1-5, as I've been looking into that because I personally want a Rattler, because there is no other rifle cartridge bearing PDW that can fold up to be the size of an MP5K with, with whatever, you know what I'm saying? So personally, Canics, I would say, are not trustworthy. Get a Glock, get a Walther PDP, get a SIG 226, get a, something. That's all I'm saying. What number MCX is being sold now? Is it the 7th? I don't know. I know there's several variations. There's 3 kinds of Rattlers. Just in itself, there's the Rattler, then the Rattler LT, and then the Rattler Virtus. And apparently there's and I don't know, but I think there's parts incompatibility between the 3 too, so it makes things even more difficult. So I'm not poo-pooing all Canics. What I am saying is I wanted to share some of this info with you guys, okay? And I wanted to say this. Pay very, very, very close, extra special attention to your Canics as you run them. Make sure the slide always goes back fully in the battery. Put the ammo that they recommend through it. And if you're currently carrying a Canic, to trust your life with it and the lives of your loved ones, just remember that this dude put 500 rounds through it and it was flawless. He loved it. And then between rounds 500 and 700, he was getting constant failures to feed, constant failures to extract, constant light primers with the same ammunition he was putting through it for the first 500 rounds. And then he also had had a battery light primer strength. So that's all I'm saying. Just consider all that. All right.
I'm just going to say it's a 6-3 decision.
It is.
Go good.
It's a 6-3 Supreme Court decision.
Changing the face of the Second Amendment forever.
Forever. And if you don't get that, you're welcome. Yes, there are multiple generations of MCX due to issues. Yeah. And evolution, I'd say. 320, at least you know it'll go off. Yeah. SIG has completely gone off the rails with their online presence and the products they sell.
All I got to say is Kyle Wade,
dude,
killed it.
Yeah, absolutely crushed it. The fact that Brandon Herrera put his meme on the meme gun review, excellent. Loved it. Or gun meme review or whatever. I haven't been watching that. Drewski, brother, thank you. He says F Camik and F the ATF. I couldn't agree more with the F the ATF part. Look, okay, let's be real about this, okay? If it doesn't work, you can always hit them with it. Yeah, this is true, especially if it's the metal one.
It's not a high point.
Well, high points aren't even magnetic. All right. Let's keep it real for a second. Okay, so let's say someone goes to the store and they only have $412 to get like their one handgun, and they get, of course, that's what I would say all day. There would even be a surplus of the aims that someone could get them for $3 and some change. But MCX hate, I'm out. And I said they were good guns. I think they're great guns. I just think there's some issues in growth and development and evolution. That's all. I won a Rattler personally. Okay. But that 1-5, which I honestly love about it, is also causing jacket separation in 300 blackouts. And if I'm going to be putting a 30 cal can on a 5.5-inch barrel, I don't want to be shooting spalling out of my, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Maybe it's a pipe dream. Maybe we're not supposed to have 5.5-inch bufferless 300 blackouts. I don't know. But you know, we love it. We love you. But we bring this stuff up because there are dudes out there that have a fixed budget that are getting one gun, and that one gun is going to be their nightstand gun, their EDC gun, their gun that's in the truck, their gun that's in the bathroom, their gun that goes to the range. That is their one gun, and they may put thousands and thousands of rounds through it and not have any issue at all, or maybe 500 rounds. Maybe they can't get to the range that often, and then just like this dude, you may be carrying it, trusting your life with it. Ask yourself, how many rounds do I have with it? How much can I trust this gun truly? And maybe go put a couple hundred more rounds through it. I'd go put 2,000 rounds through it, because that $500 would pay itself off in dividends in the end, or just go get a Glock from AIM Surplus. But you know, I'm partial to Glocks personally. So now we need to talk about Rich's carry gun, because Rich, so people may not know. Tell them what happened with your 365. And actually, I'm sorry, before you get into the story, I do need to remind everyone that yesterday was Trans Awareness Day. So I wanted to play this video just to let everyone know, kind of where we stand.
Oh, no. No.
Sorry about that. So back to your regularly scheduled programming that lasts 3 hours. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna grab a drink. Tell them about your 365 and she fine.
Yeah.
Ooh, suck it to me one more time. Get low.
So I did not lock it in my safe in my car, and I had it in the center console because I didn't want to walk in the airport with it. I pulled it out of I should have just left it on my dashboard, but I didn't think, I thought that was going to be a bad idea. And I'm real certain I locked the doors on the car, but there was no sign of forced entry. And I'm not saying I'm 100% certain because I actually took a picture so I knew where my car was parked, but I couldn't see that, the mirrors fold in, which is kind of a bad thing. So people know if you have a newer car and the mirrors aren't folded in, your doors are open. So it's kind of an advertisement. But yeah, my SIG P365 was stolen. I did get a new one. I haven't shot it yet. And just like we were talking, I want to put 500 rounds through it before I carry it. And so right now I'm carrying an LC Max. So it's, 10+1 380, which it's kind of nice because it's stupid lightweight. And it's amazing. It's only like 1 or 2 millimeters smaller than the SIG P365, but it does feel substantial. It's amazing. If you looked at the numbers, you wouldn't think it would be that big of a difference between a couple of different guns. But 1 millimeter, 2 millimeters here and there ends up being a big difference in your pocket and also in the overall weight. So did you run downstairs to the fridge?
Yeah. How'd you know? You got
Oh,
a camera in my house?
You don't have an office fridge.
I actually do.
Fridge.
I do. It was empty. You didn't see the fridge in here?
No.
Are you serious?
No, you got a fridge in there.
I literally have a small fridge, like right when you walk in. That's why I thought you were joking. Yeah.
Well, maybe if it wasn't so stealthily hidden.
It is stealthily
camouflage.
hidden. Actually, Come Out in PLA has the same fridge, and it is stealthily hidden. All right. So, did you let them know about your Camik?
About my...
I'm just kidding. Your 365.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you, like me, at time. Well, I don't. So it's kind of different. You actually volunteer for your security at your church, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, talk about that a little bit. What did you run into this past weekend?
The alligator?
Yeah. That's in Florida. There are gators, and they will murder you. And you were actually what, perimeter security or?
Well, they're basically there's a number of us that work security. So one guy just stays in the lobby and keeps an eye out, but there's other guys inside the church.
Yeah.
So there's a pond, and pretty much any water in Florida, unlike New York or Long Island, I should say, unlike Long Island, there's no poisonous snakes on Long Island or anything like that. No gators, none of that crap. So jump in water, you might get bit by a crab. That's the worst of it. But there was easily a 6-foot gator across the pond, and some guy, it was his property, was mowing the grass at the edge of the pond. And finally, he got close enough. I don't know if the guy ever saw the gator or not. It didn't look like he did, or if he did see it, he didn't care. But the gator finally just, ran into the water.
And you were heavily equipped with long gun, secondary, body armor. What did you have on you?
The LC Max, 380.
The LCP Max.
Yeah, with a salad.
A salad of 380.
Yeah.
Because 9mm doesn't fit in there, right?
Yeah.
It
will once.
Yeah, it might. Yeah, it'll fit as well as a Camik can chamber the cartridge it's chambered for. So with 10+1 of 380 ACP, I imagine you had 11 in there, right? Or do you just load up a mag and then charge it and then go right to? Okay,
10+1.
Some dudes, they just kind of, if that gator were to have, loved the cologne that you had on, or, sensed some pheromones, or he just felt some kind of way and started coming towards you, shot placement would have been incredibly important in that moment. I don't even know if a
Shooting for his
380.
eyes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if 380 ACP it might penetrate the skin of a gator. I don't know. Anyone out there, if you've shot a gator with a 380 ACP, please let me know. Apparently 9mm is good enough for a gator or even 22. I have seen yeah, that's right. That one dude on forgot the show. He used to have a little NAA 22 mag, and he was like schwacking gators with a 22 Magnum.
Well, the last time I shot a gator, and I think the statute of limitations is up on that. So
yeah, I talked to a guy in Florida who hunted gators. He used 22 Magnum. Okay, that surprised me. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I just, man, if I was going up against something that could literally eat me for lunch, I would feel most comfortable with a 9mm or bigger. At times I do carry, the Glock 21 or the Glock 30S 45 ACP, but for the most part, if you catch me in them streets, I'm going to be carrying a 9mm Glock of some kind, usually one that takes the standard non-millimeter Glock mags. But I've been known to carry the 48, the 43X at sometimes. Actually, to my boy out there, Dirk, I still got that 43X, my boy. I stopped carrying that like less than a year ago. That was my carry gun for forever, years. Actually, back then, I was considering, should I get the 43X or should I get the SIG 365? Because they're both 10+1. They're both small. They're both. If we weren't on live stream right now, I would show you, but YouTube would take me down. Yeah, so still got the 43X stainless slide and all that, and he totally hooked it up. That's why I carry a 458 SOCOM. Nice 357. What a great cartridge. 357 SIG is great. 357 Magnum is great too. Agreed, DLD, but I'm a huge wuss. What do you mean? Ask Black Rambo what he killed all them gators with. I didn't even know.
I was going to say, I got his number. I can call him.
Yeah, I got his number too. He doesn't pick up, but Swamp people used a 22. Yeah, I thought it was a 22 Magnum. 357. Yeah, 22 causes less damage to the gator skin. Gator skin is highly sought after. Yes, indeed it is. Zanti, brother, great to see you. If you shoot them, can you eat them like a deer if you accidentally hit one? So the only way, based on my understanding, and Florida is unique in this, you can only shoot a gator if you are in a literal like life and death situation. It has to essentially be self-defense, right? So if there are cameras around, I would treat it exactly like a self-defense situation. Live life, brother. Great to see you, man. The guys on Swamp people say you have to worry about bone fragments when using more powerful rounds on gators. Ah, interesting. Okay. Maverick, sounds like its skin on gators is thin, similar in that sense to big cats. Wow. I just figured that Rich was heavily undergunned, but you're telling me he was more than equipped enough to handle a gator, which they get fast too, right?
Yes. Yeah, straight line.
Yeah, they can run. Can't they run like 20 miles an hour?
I know. You're supposed to make right-hand turns, right-angle turns.
Self-defense or defense of a third party. Yes, absolutely. Just like self-defense law. Yeah. So what, they can't make right-hand turns?
No.
What? What if you just jump over it and make a right-hand turn? I mean, dude, I'm mag dumping that thing. I am.
Oh, yeah.
I am turning him inside out. I don't care about what at that point, if it's close enough to me where I feel like I have to either run or draw my gun, I know what decision I'm making.
Dude, I mean, I've told this story a number of times. It was dusk. I was walking around the house at, night. You know, I guess right after sunset. And there was something, I don't know if it was a coyote or a panther, it was howling at me in the brush on the property line. I'm like, I pulled my gun, I backed away from it. I'm like, I don't know what the hell it is, but yeah, if I got pants on, I got a gun on me. I'm not forget about, I am not absolutely under no circumstances opening the door to my house or stepped outside without a gun
Yeah. Yeah.
in Florida.
And I mean, I think really anywhere, right? Because like it's always those situations of, oh, I'm just going to the mailbox. I'm just
Mhm.
running in my car. I'm just going to the neighbors. I'm just going. It's like the situations I hear all the time where people are like, you know, I only carry when I go to a bad place. That's like saying you only put
Right.
on your seatbelt when
Yes.
you're about to get in a car accident.
I only use the fire extinguisher when I'm cooking.
Yeah, right. Or like I talked to my daughter about that exact thing using the fire extinguisher.
Wait. Joe Hughes says it was a cougar. Not that kind of cougar.
Raw, yeah, right.
Wrong cougar.
Always carry or don't live. Yeah, dude, and I think people think when you're talking about carrying, so I literally carry 23 and a half hours a day, straight up. There's 30 minutes a day that someone could catch me slipping, and that is when I'm butt naked in the shower and coming out. But guess what? Right next to me, I got my shower gun, and then I got my uh, gun that I set on the sink when I go, into the shower. So I'm at least close by. It's the only time that I feel really truly vulnerable. Um,
Well, that's the PS90 is all plastic. That's why I keep that in the shower.
Great shower gun.
Mhm.
Excellent shower gun. Yeah. And you can just hang it up like a loofah under the spout spigot thing. Um yeah, man, if I were you, so you could feel comfortable again about carrying, a larger caliber out of the new woman's gun that you got.
Mhm.
I would take that thing outside and I would just put rounds through it
Oh
until you
yeah.
feel,
I might do it tomorrow.
yeah, because you literally, can walk outside of your door and just start blasting off rounds. Dude, check this out. So this is a POV rig that you can put your phone on. All right. So literally you can go like this, right? And this magnet thing is serious. Watch this. So literally put it here. Whop. And that thing that is on there. You could literally go out and boom, 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 boom. You could even make a video of you, oh, you don't want to do it on Instagram? You want to do it on YouTube sideways? Okay, no problem. It's actually kind of cool. I started to make the Goon Beam video talking about the price increase and how we, need to support them and all that, which probably Goonbeam is probably like, DLD, shut up, man.
Aha.
They're gonna pay
So,
it.
Wait. Crichton Kitchen's got the tactical tuna.
Nice.
I want that. Oh man, I forgot who it was. They must have got a pallet or a couple of pallets of them and blew them out like 10 plus years ago. Probably.
Dude,
18
they
years.
were so available. People never bought them until they were like, I can't get that anymore. What do you mean? The same thing, dude. The Serbu Super Shorty right there, which Dirk in the chat, man. Heck yeah, dude. Josh, you're gonna love it, bro. It's awesome. It's so easy. You can mold and move everything, different angles. It's great. And it's just the best POV kind of setup you can get. Like there's dudes that literally skateboard and bike with it, and that magnet is serious. It is a serious magnet. Harmonica music in 3, 2, 1. Yeah. Sex toys. I don't get that. Maverick, good to see you. Good to see you. I was gonna say no shower gun. You need a shower gun. It's a $12 case from Walmart, and whatever crappy gun that you don't care about. Everyone has a crappy gun that you don't care about. Matter of fact,
speaking of crappy guns, you PWEDC that North American Arms, right?
Oh, of course. I only put it up there for the show. Where do you think it stays? It's I shove it in a condom, tie a knot, and prison wallet, everyday carry. Mossberg 500 pump in the shower. Yep. I gotta say, for a shower gun, Maverick Model 88. Put your trash gun that you don't care about, that you would have no problem putting in a box in the shower in chat. So if it's like an old Keltec P3AT, perfect example, or the Ruger little crappy pistol, the LCP. What's another one? Oh, the old PF9s. Dude, I miss the Keltec PF9s. Those were actually pretty decent guns.
I
when
think
I was
Walt carries that.
a PF9?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, I used to carry a P11. I got it for like $230, and I carried that thing forever. But you know how many malfunctions I had with that gun?
None.
0. And I for a while I only shot it, and then I ended up getting another Glock 26, and I just rocked that thing. The Cobra 380. Wow. PSA Dagger Micro. Dang, that's a pretty good crap gun. Taurus 605. Oh, nice. The 605. That's the 357 5-shot sandwich. Got a 20 gauge over under that goes bang, but no extraction, dude. That's proton decoy. That's totally fine. Does it extract but not eject? Like, it doesn't pop out, but you can still grab them and throw them out? Because a lot of them actually just elevate them a little bit, and then you can grab them, throw them out, and then put 2 more in. But the ones that actually, when you break it open, and in that last split second, it goes click, and then it shoots the shells out, those are fire. But those are also usually pretty expensive. Lorson, dang, 9mm Taurus revolver. PF9 is my truck gun. Love it. Snapped the ejector. Cheap Turkish gun. Wow, they put ejectors in cheap Turkish shotguns. That's what's up, dude. The 9mm revolvers thing. I can't get into pistol caliber revolvers like that.
Moon clips.
Yeah, I mean, maybe a 45 ACP, but that's kind of different, Oh, Fluffy, you didn't even want to type that, did you? You did not even want to type that. He's like, no-ish. Camik TP9SC. TP is for toilet paper, right? Dude, the whole episode was about Caniks. Okay, let me ask you this. Fluffy, does it run? Do you have malfunctions often? And how many rounds do you got through it? That would be the questions that I ask. And for you to evaluate on your own if it's trustworthy or not. That's all I'm saying. They come flying out. They do. They get launched out of there. Turkey, baby. Edgelord, what's up, man? 3D printed high point, bro. I got one on the floor right now. GP 100 10mm auto match. Okay, so my dad wanted one of those so bad. He thought they were the coolest guns in the world. And then I pointed out to him that the GP 100 was like the ubiquitous, like, crappy security guard gun. And he ended up getting the Smith & Wesson 8-shot 357 Magnum Pro Series revolver. That thing is nasty. I don't usually like take it out and finger bang it or anything, but it's a good gun. It's a good gun. No problems. 300 rounds. Yeah, if you're gonna carry it and that's like the gun, I would just say put some more rounds through it. Get 1,000 rounds through it. I honestly, I used to say if you can get 250 rounds through your gun with no malfunction, solid, carry it. But through building dozens and dozens and dozens of guns and just kind of learning a little bit more and having bad experiences or having guns have issues like right after 1,000 rounds, it's like, whoa, I never would have expected that. Or having issues after 1,500 rounds. It's like, oh crap, I should have used OEM parts. I used, cheap aftermarket parts, and now I'm having issues with the extractor or with, whatever. Because all these, P80s that I got, they're basically, honestly, I would categorize a lot of those that aren't like really good OEM, quality parts with good frame conversions. a lot of those are probably very similar to the quality of like Caniks and some other guns because they have sub Glock quality slides, barrels, and parts with cheap aftermarket parts kits. So yeah, they're not the same quality like an OEM Glock is. I'm actually doing a complete rundown. If any of you guys have seen my Gen 3 Glock 34 with the Lone Wolf OEM profile slide, it's a stainless slide. It's gorgeous. I've given it a complete makeover thanks to your boy, Marine Gun Builder. Shout out. All OEM lower parts, all OEM slide parts, pulled all those guts out, put all OEM parts in. Shout out to Marine Gun Builder, MGB. You can actually use code DARK on MGB as well. I don't get anything for it. I'm just saying. And then also, the only thing, and actually, this is what I need. Does somebody out there have a Gen 3 Glock 34 OEM barrel? Can I buy it from you? Please. Somebody out there. We have 50 people in here right now. If somebody has a Gen 3 OEM Glock 34 barrel, I need one because all I have is this aftermarket barrel that's just not cutting it. It's literally like off center, discolored, and I'm not going to say what company I got it from, but yeah, man, it's just.
Are they still in business?
Yes, they are. But yeah, I'm just saying, I went looking for them. I can't find them. They're like unicorn horns. They're just non-existent. Thank you, come on PLA. I appreciate you, man. The Toro, I've heard a lot of good stuff about the Toro. I just don't personally carry the Taurus stuff. Oh no way, yo, Fat Rooster! If you got whoever's got one, and you know, as long as it's reasonably priced, I'm not made of money over here. But Drew did send me $50 tonight. Thank you, Drew. Love you, bud. Gen 6 Glocks should be a modular gun, and then you can make them perfection. See, we've overcomplicated this, right? Because Glock is just sitting back there like, really? We made perfection? And then you guys are like, well, I want to add, this to it. I want to add a red dot. I want to add this. Glock is like, bro, come on. We just made these perfect, right? They didn't have to do anything from like 1994 until 2024. Let's be real. They just pumped out the same stuff and they're like, let's stipple the frame, change the
finger grooves. No finger grooves.
Yeah, well, even that was Gen 5, but they're like, we'll change the recoil spring and we'll stipple it. And that's Gen 4. Congratulations. Hey, Putang, great to see you. There is one red dot I would like to F. And that is the Valor Mini by Gideon Optics. I'm just saying, Gideon Optics, get yourself one. Use code DARK. Save 10% and get free shipping. But I actually have a new product. All right. Now that everyone is here, I want to show you guys a new product. It's under $13, and it is a huge, massive improvement if you guys run Safari Lane holsters. So hang on one sec. This is when you have to entertain the masses.
I have to entertain the people. I'm just playing with my backgrounds. I was looking if I had the Gideon office background since Bob was here. Mike McLuhan says, F your couch. I don't know if that's a reference to me sleeping on Dark's couch.
Well, depending on what happens here, you might not be able to sleep on my couch.
Uh-oh.
Well, we don't need to talk about that.
All right. I didn't know if Josh was still here. I'll change it back to the Fat Tack Head HQ.
Okay, so for everyone out there, if you guys run a Safari Land holster, then you know that there's something called the nub mod, okay? And the nub mod is something that I really didn't adapt right away because I don't know, I had this like weird kind of illegitimate fear that by making the ALS lever easier to access, that if someone tried to take my gun, that it would make it easier for someone to take my gun. And it was kind of like I guess, flawed logic, right? I guess in theory, it could make it easier to hit or identify and hit by somebody, but whatever. Um, so I started seeing a bunch of people get them. Then I got to run someone else's, and I was like, wow, that is way easier to hit. And if I'm already at an average of 0.66 draw to first shot on my Shooters Global timer, shout out to Drew, then yeah, I mean, it's just going to make me quicker, or at least, because I've had a broken arm, it's going to keep my speed up. So there's now something called the DLD Chub mod. No, this is not the nub mod. No, this is not, so this is on dldhardware.com, and it's not available yet. I have to make the listing active, but a lot of development has gone into this. This is, for an example, this is a Safari Land 6360, which is the SLS. So you got the SLS hood. It's the RDS 6360 RDS. So you have the SLS hood, and then you flick it open, and then look how beautiful this thing is. Then it shows you the beautifully manufactured, additive manufactured Chub mod. So it makes your ALS lever just a little more chubby, and that thing is on there. No matter how hard you hit it, no matter if you hit it and drag it and it's not going to pop off and come off, the Chub mod is going to be available on DLD hardware, and it is made via additive manufacturing. It fits on ALS and SLS Safariland holsters. And right now we have, this is the ridged model, but we also have a model, thanks to Flying Rich, our model. We have the dot. It's a model with a dot. You just need to look at the dot and you'll see the Z dot on it. So this is it on an ALS only holster. This is the 6390 RDS, and yeah, it's super clean, and I'm telling you, like, that thing is on there. Now you could choose to put a couple drops of super glue on it, put that thing in there, but instead of like, for people, if they want to get the nub mod, it's like $30 to $40 depending on where you get it from. If you get it from the eBay store, if you get it from the guy's website, which I actually want to invite him on the show. The actual nub mod is $30 to $40. This is half chub. This is going to be, I'm thinking $12. I don't know. I was thinking $9.99, but after doing the actual assessment of the amount of time, energy, filament, actual energy going into, the printer and all that, it would probably be more realistic to be at like $12.99. But yeah, I don't know. I'll probably give a discount and give people 2 for 1 or something like that in the beginning. But you could choose just to clip it on. It literally just, here, I'll actually show you. So you can remove it. Okay. Oh my fudging B! I just hit my elbow super hard. So this, look how freaking smooth that is. Who gets quality like that, my guy?
Bamboo printers.
Yeah, that's true. So this is goodness gracious, I'm hitting everything. So that's the pre-February 2024 ALS, or 2025. Yeah. If you have a brand new post-February of 2025 ALS, this will not fit. You'll see the difference in the picture. They are taller, and on that seam right there, it's like twice the height. But literally, you just take this and you just go clippy, clippy, boom. Once that thing is on there, it is not coming off until you reach under there, grab it, and pull it out and slide it up. So you have to be very, very deliberate to remove it, which you can do, but
Hey, Dark, I need to go.
you're good, man.
past that.
I appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much.
Right, guys.
Follow Flying Rich, flyingrich.com, and all of his social medias. It's great to have you on. Thank you.
Yep. Later.
Later, broski. So the 7,000 series, I these do not fit on the 7,000 series. Drew, was it too loose? Was it like just slightly loose, or what was going on with it? I need a banana yellow P80 frame. You can do it if you can find a white frame, or you can get an FDE frame and then dye it yellow. That would have been the end of the show. Ugly Glock. Gonna be full chub if you keep flicking it. I know, right? For real. Yeah, but this is something that's just huge upgrade. Like the feeling when you draw, just that massive upgrade in size and thickness. That's why it's chub. Get it? Chub mod. Also, the whole being sued by an actual company. I don't want that. So yeah, it just gives you way more of a surface area. It's way easier to grab and tug out. And I don't know, maybe it's the leverage or whatever it is, but it feels so much better. And it makes it kind of feel like it's easier to hit the ALS lever. So if it's a 7,000 series, it might not fit. But this is how they're coming. They're literally in I had another one here, which it probably is just MIA, but they're literally coming just like this. DLD hardware. Boom, just like this. And they're all different sizes because, hey, I'm figuring it out. All right. And then this is it on the, what is this? The 6354 with the dot. This is the Ridge model as well. I'm getting ready to whip up a batch of the models with the dot instead of the ridges, but super clean, super crisp. It's on there like crazy. It's not going anywhere. You're right. If I keep flicking the chub mod, it's probably gonna become a little bit larger. But yeah, I'm gonna keep pushing them pretty hard. I have a couple guys that are testing some products. I don't know, maybe I'll pick a few dudes just to send them to. If you run a Safariland ALS 6,000 series holster, put a 1 in the chat just so I can know. Yeah, so that's the other thing. I was thinking of changing the color. I don't know. I don't think it'd be that big of a deal, but on the tan one, where even the ALS is tan, it's like, oh man, I kind of wish that was tan. So I may do like tan and OD green and some others. May paint them. May they take different chubs? Yes, they do. They do indeed. So yeah, we're probably going to do a 7,000 series as well, which is crazy because if you put the 7,000 and 6,000 right next to each other, the 7,000 series is the injection molded holsters versus the Kydex formed holsters. They look exactly the same, man. It's kind of crazy. At least the one that I have, it looks exactly the same, but I just think it's shaped ever so differently. So yeah, it's going to be up on DLD hardware. It's going to be the Chub mod, and it's going to come in lots of different flavors. I actually tried to do one with fuzzy skin, but it just wasn't having it. Yeah, there's no way to do fuzzy skin like just on the outside or just on the side that you're hitting. But I don't know. With one of them, I'm probably going to put a couple drops of super glue on one of them, and just like that'll be the one that I run on it forever, and it'll be perma attached. Because super glue and 3D printing filament does not play. Like once you put a couple drops of super glue on there, that thing is sticking to whatever you're gluing it to forever. Another quick little shout out here. Actually, before we do that, I just want to remind you guys that it is Trans Awareness Month, and so I want to play this for you.
Oh, no, no.
I'm sorry. Yesterday was Trans Awareness Day. That's what
Oh, no, no. No.
Let's be real. Parents out there, if your children before the age of 12 come out as trans, it is because of you. I'm just saying. Because of what you did or didn't do, because of what you allowed or, I'm just saying, I'm just trying to keep it real. Most of these parents that are like, my son is in a woman's body or whatever. Nah, bro, you got purple hair. You're crazy. You still got freaking Kamala signs in your yard. Stop it. Stop lying to yourself. I'm just saying. I'm trying to keep it real. That's all I'm saying. Okay, let me go through here. What's the difference? What's the difference? What for the? Sorry, I lost. I forgot that I said something. Chicken, banana, chicken, banana, chicken, banana, banana, banana. One. What's the difference? I have an A4. Are you talking? Would you ever upgrade your M9A3 to the M9A4? Ah, okay. So the difference is that the M9A3 is perfect right out of the box as it is until you put M9A4 magazines that take 18+1. The A4 can accept an optic. The A3 cannot. So the question that I guess my answer would really be if Safariland offered an ALS/SLS holster that accepted a red dot. So if Safariland made an RDS holster, a red dot sight holster for the Beretta, yes, I would consider upgrading it. Even if I just went out and bought the slide and then sold my A3 slide. Which is there's totally a secondhand market for Beretta slides. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, I'd consider it, but I don't know. I haven't looked into the optic plates on the Beretta M9A4 enough. It's two little weird square things, so I just don't know enough about it. DLD After Dark. Check wherever your FedEx goes on Thursday. Oh, Putang, did you send me something? Yo, Putang, stop. Did you really? You did not. You did not. I was gonna buy one, bro. See, this is the thing with having great friends, okay? Putang probably sent me the thing that I'm thinking of. And if it's the thing that I'm thinking of, I'm going to have to take the Gideon Optics Judge off of my Glock 48 and run the Gideon Optics Mini Valor on my 48. But then, thank goodness, I'll be able to put my Judge on my 43X, which is going to be a beautiful day. So thank you. Man, if I got the Mini Valor coming, my guy, I am going to be so pumped. Yo, the quality of this thing, an enclosed RMSC cut optic that can mount direct to the slide. Dog, I am all over that. An enclosed emitter. Now, ooh. You know what I could do? Okay, so hear me out. So the Shadow Systems is a multi-optic footprint. You just use different wedges in there. I might be willing to take the 407 off of that, put the enclosed emitter on that one. It is going to be a smaller window, but it's EDC. I EDC that thing. I EDC the Shadow Systems XR920. The thing has been great. 2,300 rounds through it, zero malfunctions. I did have an issue, like I've stated every single time I talk about it. Just to be fair, clear, and honest and transparent, I did have an issue where some type of piece of projectile casing, something, uh, steel, I assume, metal, brass, lead, whatever it was, copper, something literally from shooting it got into the slide rails. To be fair, I beat up the gun. I still have not cleaned it. I've got 2,300 some odd rounds. I think it's like 2,330, something like that, rounds through the Shadow Systems XR920 and the combat version. And the reason that I went with the XR920C is because usually you see it for like $800 to $1,000, and one Black Friday it was up for like $499, and I was like, I need this so I can see if this $1,000 Glock, which is on sale for crazy, regular Glock price, um, if it's worth the hype. And in my opinion, it's not. Uh, but mainly because the XR920, what Shadow Systems did very well is they fixed an issue that Glock was having with optic mounting, and you had just stop it, AI, stop it. They fixed an issue with optic mounting because at that point, if you didn't cut your screw or get custom screws, a lot of times the right hand screw on a Glock would, like with the older Gen 3s, aftermarket slides, it would push down the extractor plunger spring and you'd have issues. It would turn your gun into a blowback Glock and there'd be issues, reliability issues. So what a lot of dudes would do is just yank, they would Dremel down a screw or cut it down or put it on, a file and just like whatever, just try to shorten the screw on the right-hand side. What Shadow Systems did, which at the time was very, very bright, it just was the wrong time. They actually captured that spring and pushed it back. So where on the Shadow Systems you could use a screw that was the almost the entire length of the slide, crank it down like crazy, and then you put a wedge in there, and that thing is perma attached. I mean, the optic is on there like hardcore. It's been great. 2,300 rounds, no issues at all whatsoever. I've never even resighted the optic in, which you shouldn't have to, but it's been great. So the problem with that is that Glock came out with the MOS and it was like problem solved and there was just no real need for it at that point. Now prior to that, all the years prior that they did this thing, good on them, that was awesome, but they're really going to need to step their game up if they want to continue selling Glock style handguns for $800 to $1,000 or more. And I just don't think, I think they're great for what they are. I just don't think they're worth that dollar amount. I would rather take one of my polymer 80s that I built with really good high quality parts or performance grade parts or OEM parts and just run that as long as I can fit it in a Safariland holster, which you can if you take all the over exaggerated BS off of the trigger guard on a polymer 80. I'm just saying. But it's super picky with what light you're running. You basically have to run an O light and completely misshape your trigger guard to like a square. And I just don't want to run a light like that because with a polymer 80 frame, you have the full pick rail. So it makes your light sit much lower. So if you're using like a X300 or the Goonbeam TLR1 shape size light, or an actual TLR1 or TLR1 HL, well, maybe you could get away with like a TLR7 HLX or something like that because the performance of those are a little better. But I personally, I'd want a little more runtime on the battery. Those single cell units aren't as giving on like battery time, so that's something to consider. What else? Someone had said something. Sorry. M9A4 and M9A3. My daughter claims she is a they them, but still dresses like a woman and lives with her boyfriend. It's just the trendy thing these days. Man, Traveler, I'm sorry you're going through that. And by the way, too, it also because of the climate that we're in, if someone is already like the political climate and the way kind of people are becoming radicalized as if like political identity is equal to religion, right? Like I believe that Jesus Christ died for my sins. I believe that Jesus Christ is my savior, and I believe that I would fight and die for that belief gladly, um, in a righteous way, not like a bad like whatever. Well, you're saying you're a Christian nationalist? Sure, yeah, absolutely. Anyway, so I I think because of the way politics these days is kind of replacing religion, if you catch kids that are becoming more mature, like at the right stage, you could totally sweep someone under. Like, for an example, um, man, my wife, she was planted in her views, and we used to go to the range together, shoot together. She had her own gun. Like we, I don't know. I think 2020 to 2023, it took her. Like the world took her from me, and she became a little bit more radicalized. But it seems like it's much more tamed now than it was before. It just depends on what stage you catch somebody, and if you catch somebody at the right time where they're, you know, maybe having an internal crisis and they find so, you know what I mean? Because, dude, I'll tell you what. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't talk about all that stuff. Sorry, I'll shut up. But I guess to be more fair, I shouldn't have said that. I think I'll say this. What I should have said is very young children who can't make their own like grown up decisions. And I think I originally said like under 12 years old, or really under 10 years old. I do think those children that are experiencing that, it's because of their parents. It's because of what their parents are encouraging them to do or not do. And they're likely planting those ideas in their head because of how intense they are on their politics and cultural beliefs and things like that. So that certainly wasn't a dig at people that may be going through what you're going through, where sometimes the left, the media, they just kind of take people, man. Saw 92X today, not getting a dot. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I honestly, I love my M9A3 the way it is. And honestly, I would continue running it like right now. Like that's the M9A3, right? And I have Holosun PID dual. So it's got 1,000 lumen white light, a green vis laser, and an IR laser, which I could clap steel at 100 yards all day with that M9A3. I don't really want a dot on it, but I think the only way I would consider upgrading is if there was like a reason, like, okay, I could run a Safari Land ALS and SLS holster with the M9A3 on my kit if I chose to. Um, I'd consider that. But then also, like, you know, that money could be going into something else, like the money that I'm gonna need to spend on a Glock 34 OEM barrel, right? Like, I could go towards something like that. Obviously, that it would be way more than that, but super weak. Look at me, look at me. The Squallow is fire. I don't know what the Squallow is. Beretta is such a waste. They need to put an optic mount on the chamber like the Taurus TX22. So, a lot of people think that the Berettas are fixed barrels. Their design makes it operate as it's a fixed barrel, but it's not. It does move, and it has. If you break down a Beretta and you pull it down, it actually does have a little wedge in there that does move. So, although it appears like it's a fixed barrel, it just simulates one in operation. Scoot, I see you. You're welcome. God bless. God bless you, my G. Appreciate you, man. And if all of you guys don't, you may or may not know, a lot of these optics behind you, some are RMRs, some are Holosuns, some are primary arms, some are there. It's all over the place. But if you look here, Gideon Optics, that's the Advocate. It's a 1X prismatic optic. You can get those for like 200 and some change. If you use code DARK, you get 10% off and free shipping. A bunch of the pistol optics are actually not the this one. This right here is a Gideon Omega, which has been dubbed the SRO type optic. Uh, those are like 199, 219, something like that. Get 10% off plus free shipping. The Alpha, which is over here, and or no, not the Alpha, the Rock, which I have the Alpha on a dagger. The Rock is on this Lone Wolf 80%er over there. Actually, you know what? Right there is the Rock. I love that thing. That's the RMR shaped Gideon optics. That thing's like 199, less 10%, free shipping. I'm saying it's a good deal when you use code DARK. Got to use code DARK. I do get a kickback with Goonbeam and with Gideon, just so y'all know. I don't shill stuff on here. I don't make my money on YouTube. I make my money from DLD hardware and from Definition Knives, which, just so you guys remember, we run a company, Definition Knives, where you can get some super dope equipment for an excellent price. So you're not spending $350 on Super Gucci. Come on. Sorry. On a Super Gucci roller lock design knife like this. This way you can get a Super Gucci roller lock design knife for under $100. Every single person in chat right now, if you have a knife from our company, Definition Knives, and you love it, shout it out. Shout it out in chat. This is the DK1 right here. This is another one with blue hardware, black G10, D2 tool steel. You can open it like that, or you can open it like that. We have a whole bunch of new knives coming out. You guys are going to go nuts when you see the stuff that we're dropping over the next couple weeks. And look, you may see a bunch of new stuff dropping pretty soon. This is the Birdshot right here. This is 8CR13 MOV steel. Very good, mild steel. I mean, it's still super hard steel, right? But it's for what it is. It's a great steel. These have become kind of like the I guess mid-tier steel blades. Anyway, yeah, Definition Knives. All of them are under $100. All of these knives are $59 to $79. This one, the Boyd, love this one. Bam. Green G10 D2 tool steel, satin finish, satin hardware. Really, really great. Yeah, a whole bunch, man. And dude, I cannot wait till you guys can actually see launch 2 knives out here. Y'all are gonna freak out. Really dope stuff, man. Even just like the frame locks, bro. The frame locks, bam. There you go. Warncliffe frame lock, Definition Knives. That's going to be dropping soon. Man, so much great stuff. Oh yeah, these. Okay, so y'all said you wanted liner locks. You wanted liner locks that were flippers. Look at that denim print G10 on this thing. Look at that gorgeous machined blade. Oh, love it. And honestly, one of the coolest things is that the lanyard loop back there is G10, and it's held in there with hardware, so it's really cool. Really cool. Look at that. Bam. Black and orange. Yeah, really cool stuff. Lots of dope things coming out. So be on the lookout. It's definitionknives.com. And then launch 3. Dude, it's so crazy to have to keep up with this, but man, lots of big stuff, big deals coming out with launch 3. Let's see. I've got both and won't dot either. I feel you. Irons don't need batteries. Facts, dude. I could crack my freaking. Honestly, with the Beretta, my first interaction with the Beretta, where I was like, okay, this is noteworthy, is I was shooting ping pong balls at like 20, 25 yards with just a standard M9 A1 or 92 FS, and I was like, okay, this is special. I was helping a friend put some Wilson springs in his gun to reduce his trigger pull, and yeah, it was fire. I want a big window RMSC, like a 507 comp or Defender XL size in an RMSC base. Yeah, that would be dope. There's some stuff out there, and I think I know Judge XL be pretty close, Proton, about 3 weeks from now. Yeah, so that's another great option, and that I actually handled that optic out at Goals last year, right? I think it was that one, because so many of these very popular guns, because of the thickness of their slide, are still cut for RMSC cut, so they can be optics cut, so they can compete. But you know, oh, irons don't need batteries. Neither do Canics. Oh, yikes! Transparent. Oh, I did say that. I'm going to call it a night. Garen Wilson, brother. Nighty night. Good to see you. Stay vigilant. Head on a swivel. Keep the faith. Absolutely. Clean a Glock? Is that like cleaning a 1022? I don't know. I haven't done either. Steve Whoop. Great to see you, broski. Great to see you. Joe Morris. I just scored a 22-inch by 7/8 inch fake gold Cuban link dog collar off Amazon for my buddy's old boy Ruckus, 8 to 9-year-old, 60-pound black amber pitty with natural ears and tail. Such a champion old boy. That's what's up, man. That's dope. Who would have thought to put a Cuban link on a dog? That's gangster. I got irons in front of the mount on the gun. I want that for. Oh, are the irons integrated with the mount? Excuse me. Oh, Metal Storm. I don't know what that is. Val Kilmer died of pneumonia. Is that true? I heard that, but I wasn't sure if that was true or not. R.I.P. Val Kilmer. Man, that shootout scene from Heat, man, will forever live in infamy. That bounding scene, bro. If you've ever like LARPed and practiced bounding, it is not that easy, right? And they just made it look like flawless. They did an excellent job in that movie. A couple years ago would have been the Coof. Yeah. Was he even 60? I'm your Huckleberry. I know, right? 65. Dang. Oh, indeed. Dark, quick, check your text. Okay, sorry. I know that was probably like 20 freaking minutes ago now. Let's see. Is this what you're looking for? Hold on. I think so. Yes. Yes, that is exactly what I need. Literally. Name your price. Name your price. Yeah, I got a Glock 34. Is that an OEM slide? OEM slide with some cuts in it and stuff, some laser work. That's pretty dope, actually. I see your brand logo on it. That's pretty fire. I would love to get something like a Glock 34. Like I got this stainless slide that's on that Glock 34. I would love to get it lasered, lose that nickel-plated sissy pistol or something like that. Y'all know. If you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? I am becoming radicalized to facilitate the rest of normality. Isn't that nuts? Hold on. You have Christian beliefs. You believe in the Constitution. You own firearms. Oh my goodness. You've been radicalized. I should probably keep my mouth shut. My bad, dude. I was so far beyond. Oh my goodness. I'm still super far back in chat. My bad. Cali Prep, what's up, brother? Yeah, apparently Val Kilmer had passed away, unfortunately. Okay, so someone had mentioned, I talked to a good friend of mine, and we were talking about how, changes in the administration have made changes on the internet, like when we do live streams and stuff like that. And he was saying because of the changes of the administration, because of the changes in the ATF, we haven't gotten phishing stuff. We used to get phishing stuff, like he would get it every day of people trying to, ask for illegal stuff. I would get them like every other day. And I'm not talking about like the occasional person that's like, yo, what's up, brother? Are you selling P80 frames or whatever? I'm talking about people like literally fishing, asking for unlawful things. And it was like, bro, come on, police, try harder. They would come all the time. But the few people that own firearm related businesses, we would literally like talk back and forth, and we'd notice the same people on Instagram, on various places. So after the change in the administration, well, change in the leadership of the ATF, we started noticing those things less. And the conversation came up, and it was like, hey, be on the lookout because of those things, changing. You may notice people not around as much. So don't look at the people that are, in your chat. Look at the people that used to be in your chat all the time, that since these changes in leadership had been like reassigned or whatever and aren't around. I was like, oh, bro, I did not even think of that. So that, I don't know, it could just be a thing. But also just don't do illegal stuff. That's the easiest way to, work around that. Judge XL, or are you thinking of Judge 2? They're both coming out the end of this month, but are pretty different other than the footprint. Yeah, those are the RMSC big window thingamajigs. Mike McClune, haven't seen that movie in a while. Joe Morris, that, and White Lightning. Which one? We all gonna die. Yeah, for sure. It is. I got to go. Need to be up at 6:30. Live freely, y'all. Fluffy Bunny, good to see you, bro. Appreciate you. Do a line of the same knives with premium coatings and hardware like Microtech Signature Series. I could go for definition DLC. Yeah, actually, one of the knives we were going to come out with was this DLC coated D2 flipper. This run. After talking to a bunch of folks, people were like, dude, we want flippers and liner locks. That's what everyone carries. So instead of doing the, older, not the older, our last uh, roller lock, axis style lock, or whatever you want to call them, people wanted flippers. And this one, unfortunately, had not passed QC. So it didn't pass the rigidity testing process that we put it through. So that one is going to be a no-go for launch 2, unfortunately. Now, if we could take it and make some changes to it, we would definitely do more like DLC, some cooler hardware, and we're working on some of those things for sure. But crazy thing, believe it or not, we're only on launch 2. We've had, so basically how kind of everything is going to work. The first launch was just 5 knives. We put out 5 knives, and that's what we're putting them out in, one way, one configuration, one thing, and then that's for the first launch. X amount of knives that we have, that's what we're doing for that. They'll always continue to be in stock, right, forever. And then launch 2 we're doing is 7 knives. So we're adding those 7 knives to the product line, and then we're always going to keep all from the first launch and the second launch for sale constantly. But we're going to be adding every single launch, 5 to 7 knives or sometimes more, and then all from every launch are going to always be available forever, right? And then we're going to do every now and then these, we call them the definition drops, where we come up with something like this crazy kind of, unique, and just kind of like not like to make them like a rarity kind of thing, right? But like, so we make 500 of these, and we literally serialize them 1 through 500, freaking laser beams, fuse carbon fiber and G10 together, machine it out to give it like a really dope texture. And this is not the final product. This was the first test sample of this one. We've come a very, very long way with this one, but like with these, there's going to be 5 probably. Well, there'll be many versions of this one, but different colors, different stuff, and then they'll be serialized 1 to 500, and that's it. They'll never be available again. Those will be called the definition drops, but the launches, we'll launch them. They'll always be available, forever. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up, guys. I appreciate all y'all so much, man. It's been a crazy year, and I know that it's going to be a big year for definition knives. I've literally put all my money on black for this, and I put all my savings, retirement, everything into definition knives because look, first launch went incredibly well, and it's continuing to go well. And the more people get out there, the more stores that they're in. Or we're going to be putting them in our second store. Other websites want to carry them. So once we get everything kind of worked out with that, we're going to keep growing, and as we keep growing and expanding, there's going to be more available. And when our catalog gets larger and there's a better, a more well-known reputation, people are just going to be able to have great quality knives at a discounted price. All of them are available at definitionknives.com. There is still free shipping at definitionknives.com. That will change once we start introducing the knives from launch 2 over the next couple weeks. So be on the lookout for that. I love you guys. I got to hit the road. So in closing, guys, remember this. Shop at DLD Hardware. Shop at Definition Knives. You'll support your boy. Shop at Gideon Optics. Use code GLOWIES. You save money, and it helps support your channel, your boy's channel as well. Shop at Goonbeam. Use code DARK. Then you'll also... Is there any way... Putang, could we change it to code DARK? Because I think it's the only one that's not code dark, and I think it confuses people. But I also don't want to make, I don't know. What do you guys think? I think just to be consistent, it should be code dark everywhere. There's a bunch. You could use code dark at Stifler Manufacturing. You could use code dark at Anderson Manufacturing. You could use code dark at Marconi. You could use code dark at to a bunch of places. Goonbeam, you could use code dark everywhere. I'm also working on a relationship with, get this, Optics Planet. You can use code dark at BCA, Bear Creek Arsenal. You can use code dark all over the place. So if you're buying anything from anywhere, try code dark. Chances are it probably won't work, but if it does, there you go. Anyway, all right, let's go ahead and close up, guys. Remember, we are in a culture war, okay? So remember, it's important that you maintain the role of culture warrior, okay? But by that, I don't want anyone to take that the wrong way. What I'm saying is we need to make sure that we are doing our job to be kind, to be caring and loving and compassionate, but also be extremely dangerous, well-disciplined individuals and showcase that great character to other people to encourage other men to be just like you. We need to be leaders in our community. We need to be leaders within our church, leaders within our home, spiritual leaders within our home, lead our children and our spouse and all that. And look at, where I've failed in the past. I've openly talked to you guys about where I've made mistakes, where I've erred, where I've failed. So, use that as, an opportunity to learn. And to hold ourselves to higher standards, to have higher standards and expectations for yourself as a leader. Sometimes I don't know. I look at it like this: if you put yourself in the environment with the right people around you, and they're the right leaders, and they're the right people that hold you accountable, it's just going to grow and develop you as an individual. But I like to share some of the rules with. That I like to follow at the end of oh dang, Rooster, what? Yo, my boy Rooster. By the way, if you don't follow Fat Rooster _1 on Instagram, you need to, because he's dropping fire Cerakote stuff almost every single day on Instagram. And my man is killing it. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. I just saw that out of the corner of my eye. And I'm going to exchange some stuff with you too, bro. So it'll be good. Personally, when it comes to 2A, I say promote 2A. 2A is for everyone. We won't have 2A forever. If you make a point, if pushing people away. Yeah, absolutely. It's in my opinion, it's far better to, okay. So like today, for an example, all right, I went out and about, I'm wearing a Geisley shirt. right? And I was going out, I was holding the door for people, I was being kind, I was saying hello and all that. My idea is that if people that disagree with us politically, culturally, whatever, they have those differing opinions and beliefs, it's likely because they believe us to be different than who we truly are, right? They believe that we're these toothless MAGA, country, but whatever, right? Like, it would be way better to just live your life being Christ-like and be kind to people, to do your best to remove your ego and pride and be door holders. I always say it's best to just be a door holder, remove your ego and pride, and hold the door for people, especially if it's people that you don't agree with or like. And someone someday may be like, whoa, this dude has a gun on his shirt and is being kind and nice, and you could completely change someone's perspective. And then they may have that feeling that all of us here, at least people that think like we do, have had at one point, which is like, yo, the media lied to me, and that changes everything, right? Timothy McVeigh didn't do it. Anyway, we can go ahead and wrap up. Some of the rules I like to share with you guys at the end of every show are: rule number one is to be kind. It's so important that we're kind in everything that we do. That brief interaction that you have with somebody else could have a massive impact on our life, on their life. So be kind. Rule number two is to live a life of care, compassion, contribution, give to others. When you bless others, you become blessed, because the hand that's open to give is open to receive. And rule number three, because the only way for us to defeat evil is with good men skilled in violence. Make sure that you're becoming as highly skilled in violence as you possibly can be, and be safe, be dangerous, and keep that thing on you. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are out of here. Yes, Drewski, I was getting off track, but I never leave without doing the rules. One other thing real quick. I know a lot of us like to train with our equipment and our, plate carriers and our chest rigs and our pistol belts and all this overt kit. I recommend every single one of you leave all the kit at home and bring your carry gun to the range and just train like crazy with your handgun. Put in pistol work, put in pistol work, put in pistol work. Because 99% of the time, if something does pop off, you are going to have your handgun on you, and you're not going to be able to get your rifle, grab your rifle, go pick up your rifle. If you can, then just flee, right? Unless you need to prevent some severe injustice from occurring. But anyway, what I'm saying, it's more likely that you're going to have your handgun on you in that situation than you are a rifle, a subgun, or something else. So get extremely good with your pistol. And when I say number three, right? Rule number three, because we know the only way for us to defeat evil is with good men skilled in violence. Make sure that you're becoming as highly skilled in violence as you possibly can be, right? The reason I'm saying that is because, yes, LARPing and training in your full kit and your rifle and all that, and your pistol belt is super important. But let's be realistic. The times that we are out and about with our EDC shoved in our pants, whether you're running a Fat Tac holster or whether you're running whatever you're running, right? Shout out to Fat Tac. We love you, Josh. Whatever you're running, you're probably going to run into a bad situation with that, wearing that. So keep that in mind. Anyway, I'm out of here. I love y'all so much. I'll catch y'all on the flip side. And thank you for being here. The next one may be on the Green Place. Love y'all. Bye. Christ is King. Christ is Lord. He wants a relationship with you. Reach out to him. He texts me all the time. He'll text you too. Love y'all. But you got to visit the text. That's what I'm saying. Love y'all. Bye.